Hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me and see me clearly? Can y'all hear me, see me? Yes? Okay. Thank you, Candace Hay, for nodding your head. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Okay, I see the chat is going. I came on here a few minutes early because I always got to get set up to make sure that you can hear me, that you can see me, that everything is working clearly. Okay, so we got the chat. Okay, I can see the chat. Okay, let me share my screen here just a second. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday. If this is your first time here, welcome. It is a whole bunch of y'all. I hear and see you. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to mute everybody. We're going to do a little technical check to make sure everybody's muted. If you can check and make sure you are muted for me. We'll do that first. Welcome, everybody. I haven't done a masterclass in like 4 months. So I was like, let me do this masterclass. I haven't done it in a while. A lot of people who have come to them before are like, Ashley, when's your next masterclass? So here I am, you guys. I'm back. Welcome, everybody. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. You guys, I love to see where you're from. Tell me where you are from in the chat. I promise this is not going to be like one of those touch a neighbor, write in the chat, do this, I'm not going to do y'all like that. Just tell me, like, if you want to tell me where you're from, I would love to hear where you're from, just to see where everybody's from. Cool. I see it coming. Okay, let me make sure everybody is on mute. Everybody check and make sure you're on mute. I'm going to share my screen here shortly. We will do that. Let's see what view we can do here. Boom, there I am. Okay, because I could see everybody. And now we got it. Now we're rocking and rolling. Okay, Dallas, Pine Bluff, New York. Welcome, everybody. 7:59. Welcome, welcome, Chicago. Frida from Philly. I know you're here. I see you, Frida. I'm back. I know y'all are like, Ashley, I haven't been on YouTube on Sundays. I'm coming back. I promise you guys. I promise I will be back on YouTube on Sundays. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. First of all, let me say this. Okay. So I know most master classes, like we got slides and people talk, but honestly, I just talk a lot of times. I'm going to have slides to guide us through, but honestly, y'all, I can just talk. If you've ever seen me on YouTube, the slides are like a guide. I honestly don't even know why I make slides because I'm going to end up just talking. And then if we have questions, you guys, I will try to look at the chat as much as I can. But honestly, y'all, I get so distracted a lot of times. So I'll try to get questions at the end and that kind of stuff. So welcome, everybody. It is 8 o'clock. I see everybody from everywhere. Miami, Colorado, Philly, Cordova. I see y'all from Memphis. Okay, welcome from Memphis. You guys, like 840 people signed up for this masterclass. 840. So we will see how many end up here. You know, people watch the replay, all that kind of stuff. But it's 8 o'clock. Let's jump in. I'm excited. Y'all, I could talk about real estate. Like, I mean, it's just my life at this point. I'm going to share my screen. You guys, let me know when you can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? If we were on YouTube, I'd be like, blink if you can see my screen. But yeah, y'all nodding. Look, Candace, I'm looking at you. Candace is nodding. I see owner. I see you nodding too, right there. So, okay. Okay, I changed it up. I'll try to change it up a little bit so I can see everybody. So, look, again, why do I even have slides? Let me do an introduction real quick for everybody in case you are new here. If you have never been here before, you guys, welcome. My name's Ashley Pickens. I know a lot of y'all just kind of found me on Instagram or in the last couple of days, but my name is Ashley Pickens. You guys, I have been in real estate since 2006. I got licensed in 2006 as a real estate agent. Y'all know what? I got slides, but again, who go with the slides? But I'll put them up so y'all can see. But I'm going to go through the slides pretty quickly. So here we go. I have been in real estate since 2006. I got licensed when I was 21 years old. So y'all can do the math on how old I am now. I was a real
Whose
estate.
TV is that?
Somebody, are y'all on mute? Can y'all make sure y'all mute? I tried to mute all. Y'all double check
The
and make.
TV is distracting.
I think somebody is not on mute. Somebody talking about the TV is on. I think we all heard that. So I tried to mute everybody, mute all. I will try again, you guys. But y'all, everybody check and make sure you're on mute, please. And I will try again. So anyway, I've been in real estate since 2006, and I am as a real estate agent and also as a real estate broker. So I used to be over an entire firm. And then, but most people know me as an auctioneer. Let's change this view up a little bit so it is just me. So most people know me as an auctioneer. I am the one that says going once, going twice, sold. You guys, I am at the courthouse. I am here in Shelby County, Tennessee, parts of Mississippi, and sometimes I'm in Nashville, you guys. That is where I work. I auction off foreclosures at the courthouse. So I have sold over 250 homes. This slide is kind of old. I have sold plenty of homes at the courthouse. So I started making videos for people because a lot of people, honestly, right now, you guys, a lot of people have no idea how the auction works or anything like that. A lot of people just know that they sell properties at the courthouse. A lot of people have heard that, but most people can't tell you when, where, what time, what properties are going up for sale or anything like that. So then I started making videos about how to buy properties at the auction. And then it has just grown into master classes and all kinds of stuff at this point. So that is how we got here. So let's jump into the housing market. I cannot see anybody, which is unusual for me. Okay, there we go. I can see myself. Here we go. Okay, so let's do like a really quick rundown of what's going on in the housing market right now. And then I'm going to talk. If you got questions, I will check the chat as often as I possibly can. Okay. Another quick thing that I want to say, you guys, like I said, I do get distracted by the chat a lot of times. Look, let me stop sharing so I can see everybody. I get distracted by the chat. So if I look over here and y'all are talking, I will try to answer questions. But you guys, and look, I already see it. I already see it. I know what happens when a whole group of investors and real estate agents all get together. Everybody, I know when all the get money people get together, right? We're going to try to network. I know how this works. It happens in every masterclass. I don't mind. I don't mind if y'all can just kind of wait until the end of my class. And then I will give a chance for y'all to put where you're from. If y'all want to say, I buy properties here, I'm looking for properties, we can JV. Just give me a chance to get through this so y'all can focus on this, and then y'all can get in the chat and network. I promise I will, because I already see you. I already see you, Al Edmondson in the DMV. I see you already. So let's keep going. Is that my TV? Are you talking Stacy Washington? Is my TV on my TV? Not on Stacy. I was looking in the chat. So let's keep going. You guys, I'm gonna share my screen again. If I catch a question, I'll try to let's all, yes, thank you guys for double checking to make sure you are all muted. I tried to mute all, but I don't see the button, you guys. So y'all just gonna have to mute yourselves. Last time I had a master class, y'all, people are like in the car. There, I know some of y'all washing dishes, doing the laundry. I think one guy was at the club during the last master class, but he was on mute, so I didn't mind. So, you know, it's all good. I don't mind. So just check and make sure y'all are on mute. I tried to mute all, but I don't know where the button is to mute everybody. So you guys, if y'all know where the button is, just tell me where it is. But I don't see a mute all button. Sorry, you guys, I just don't know where it is. So let's keep going before I mess up the whole screen. Mute all, I don't see it, you guys. So y'all are gonna have to like mute yourselves. I don't hear anything. So let's keep going. I'm jumping back in. Okay, here we go. Back to my screen, you guys. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the housing market right now. Okay, so these are the latest numbers with foreclosures across the country. These are the halfway points for the first half of 2024. Right now, we have 177,000 properties with foreclosure filings. I try to remind everybody, if you don't know what a foreclosure filing is, foreclosure usually in three phases, right? It's when a homeowner gets behind on their mortgage. We will talk about this in the slides, but typically a homeowner gets behind on their mortgage 3 months, okay? Then the lender or the bank will file that notice of default or the notice of sale. That's the first filing. After that, their auction is scheduled and then their property is repossessed, okay? So it's 3 filings. Now, keep in mind, people can have multiple filings on their property. So if somebody gets behind on their mortgage, they go into foreclosure, and then they file bankruptcy, right? They stay in bankruptcy, they come out of it, they get behind on their mortgage again, they go back into foreclosure, okay? So people can have multiple filings, basically, when it comes to foreclosure. So lenders started the foreclosure process on 130,000 properties in 2024, the first half. Also, lenders have repossessed 18,000 properties through completed foreclosure. That means that these are REO properties, bank-owned properties, and we are going to talk about every single phase in this masterclass, all right? So really quickly, states that have the greatest number of REOs right now are, let's see, y'all hear somebody. Somebody is not on mute, so y'all check your mute. States with the greatest number of REOs in 2024, which is Michigan. I saw a bunch of people from Michigan, California, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Texas. Honestly, we're not really surprised because these are some huge states with a lot of properties and a lot of homes. I'm surprised Florida is not on that list. Florida will probably be on the list here shortly because of everything that's going on in Florida right now. Shout out to Florida. I love Florida. Y'all know I want my foreclosure on the beach in Florida for $22.17. So shout out to Florida. Just really quickly, another couple stats. I always like to share these stats with you because you always have people who are like, foreclosures are not coming. Why are you talking about foreclosures? Y'all look, and when you watch the news, it makes it seem like there's no foreclosures. Everybody's happy. We all eating pink starburst and jumping through sunflower fields. But y'all, it's a lot of people who haven't paid their mortgage. Let me say that, okay? So, what is that, you guys? Hold on my screen. So, hold on, you guys. Are y'all still with me? I just noticed this on my screen. So, let's keep going. Right now, we have 4.5 million homeowners behind. No, this was January 2023. 4 million homeowners were behind and 5 million renters were behind. December, 4.5, renters, 5.3. You'll start noticing a pattern. I'm not going through all of these, months, but here's March of 2024, 4.2 million homeowners, 5.3 million renters. Okay. And so June's numbers just came out. Okay, you guys. And it showed in the month of June that we had approximately 13.1% or 6 million renter households were behind on their rental payments in June, you guys. 6 million people did not pay their rent in June. So I know none of us heard that on the news anywhere. Also, let's talk about homeowners. I tried to highlight this, but clearly I highlight like a kindergartner, but y'all understand. Then approximately 5.7% or 4.26 million homeowners did not pay their mortgage, were behind on their mortgage in June, you guys. And I have the link if y'all ever want to go look at the link. I'll put it in the chat. But basically, y'all, we got about 10 million people have not paid for their housing all year, you guys. Almost 10 million. And let me get out of this so I can look at y'all. Y'all, I have been watching these numbers since COVID. Since COVID, you guys, I've been following these numbers for so long. And you guys, these numbers have not changed since COVID, since the last 4 or 5 years. We've had at least 10 million people behind on their mortgage the last 4 or 5 years. I know people who call me, who have not paid their mortgage since COVID. They have not made a mortgage payment. And if you think about it, you guys, we've never had a time where we had a moratorium on our real estate where you didn't have to pay your mortgage, right? So I'm seeing people who bought houses in 2022, who bought a house, maybe waited 2 months, and then you guys, they didn't even pay their mortgage at all. Like literally bought in 2022, put it up under the moratorium and have not had to pay at all. So I am seeing that all the time, all the time. So you guys, let me see. I'm checking the chat, making sure I'm not missing anything. Is everybody on mute? You guys, I can still hear somebody. Y'all, will y'all check and make sure you're on mute? So hold on, you guys. And then I'm going to put up the slides again. I do not know how to make it on mute, you guys. I'm trying to see if there is a button where you can mute all, but I don't know where it is. But anyway, let's keep going, you guys. We'll keep going. And if I figure out how to mute everybody, I will do it. But I would appreciate if everybody puts their video on mute. Okay, so let's keep going. I don't see it anywhere in mine, you guys. Okay, back to what we were doing. Back to the slides. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, can everybody see? Are we back to the slides? Okay, so let's keep going. So a lot of people, can y'all see my screen? Make sure y'all can see me. Can y'all see my screen? Laura?
Yes.
Yes, y'all can see my screen. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so a lot of people wonder, I specialize in the distressed market. I used to work retail on the side with first-time home buyers, the traditional retail side. Now I focus solely on the distressed market, which is foreclosures, REOs, auctions. That is what I do. That is what I specialize in. I work with investors mostly. Sometimes I work on the retail side, but I mostly work with investors. So today we are going through the phase pre-foreclosures, auctions, and REOs. I think it's this.
They have hair stuff, but on the show.
Hold on.
I asked the lady. I went to
Lori Meal, I think is the person's name. Lori Meal was not on mute.
I'm worried, but they're just empty. It's not empty.
Oh.
And then I was like, this is not.
You can ask her to mute by clicking on her screen.
You go to Target?
No,
The 3 boxes in the corner, you should be able to ask her to mute.
So they have a kind of
3 boxes in the corner. I don't know. I have like 3 boxes.
Like the 3 dots in the corner. If you click on her profile and then hover over the 3 dots at the top, it should, if you're the host, it should say ask to mute.
Okay. Well, when she
as the host, you should be able to actually mute
there
them.
We go. I see her. I got you. I got her. Boom. I got her. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We keep going now. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for your participation. So now let's keep going. Boom. Sharing my screen. We are back. Boom. Hold on, y'all. My screen not sharing now. Y'all look at us. We having all kinds of technical difficulties. I honestly should just start talking. Honestly. Okay. Let me know when y'all can see my screen. Stop share. Boom. 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 There we are. We are back. Okay. Everybody can see my screen, correct? Yes. Okay. So let's keep going. So here we go. We're going to jump in to the actual process of foreclosure, you guys. I always start with a story that y'all can kind of relate to make it clear to you. So once upon a time, you guys, it's a quick story. Don't worry. This is Steve, you guys. Steve lost his job during COVID. because I want it to be real to you so you can understand how the foreclosure process works. So Steve lost his job during COVID, like a ton of people, right? And is struggling to pay his mortgage each month. Steve is 3 months behind on his mortgage, you guys. Like I said, that usually when you get behind on your mortgage, you are technically in pre-foreclosure, okay? Steve is 3 months behind on his mortgage and is in pre-foreclosure. We got a whole bunch of people who are like 3 years behind, and a lot of people are not in foreclosure yet. But Steve is in pre-foreclosure, okay? Pre-foreclosure is that initial stage, that process when a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage payment. Okay, now a lot of times people will ask me, right? When people are in foreclosure, can I contact the bank and talk to them and try to buy the house, you guys? When somebody's in pre-foreclosure, the homeowner still owns the property, okay? So if you are wanting to find a pre-foreclosure, you guys, you've got to talk to the homeowner, okay? That is who still owns the house. That is the decision maker, okay? So where do you find pre-foreclosures? So Zillow is a great site, even though a lot of us do not like Zillow. Zillow is a great site. Also, auction.com. I don't know if y'all are familiar with auction.com, but auction.com is a great resource to find pre-foreclosures, REOs, and auction properties. If we're still on here after this, a lot of times after these master classes, I'll answer questions and talk, and I'll show you auction.com if you need me to walk you through that a little bit. Also, are any of y'all familiar with PropWire? Does anybody use PropWire? PropWire, PropStream, any of those things? I see some of y'all nodding your head. Yep, I know a lot of y'all. PropWire, PropStream, really good resources. If you use PropStream, PropWire is the free version. PropStream costs $99. PropWire is free. Okay, and we can walk through some of that if y'all want to see how you use PropWire. Do y'all want to see how you use PropWire to find pre-foreclosures? Or do y'all already know? I see some of y'all nodding y'all's heads like, yes, please show us how to find pre-foreclosures. Okay, I will show you. Give me a second. And Property Radar, okay? A lot of people, I work pre-foreclosures. Something that I want to share with everybody as we go through this, you guys, it is a masterclass. I will share with you the things that I do when I market to people who are in foreclosure, because I do. So yes, but I do auction off people's properties, right? Do I enjoy what I do? I love being an auctioneer, but do I enjoy auctioning off people's houses? You guys, of course, I don't enjoy auctioning off people's houses, right? But it is what I do. And that's also why I also try to help people who are in foreclosure. I think once people discovered that I auctioned off foreclosures, then people started reaching out to me for help, or they'd be like, my brother's in foreclosure. Can you help him? So now I do reach out to people and try to offer assistance. So yes, I'll auction off your house, but yes, I will also help you keep it if that's what you want to do. So as we go through this, I will tell you the things that I do, because a lot of y'all reach out to me. And how do you reach out to pre-foreclosures? I know I got a lot of investors, a lot of wholesalers, I know it's a bunch of y'all on here. So I will tell you exactly what I do. And if I have something, like everybody knows that I send letters to people in pre-foreclosure. If I have something that I do, I'll sprinkle it through here in case y'all need it, okay? So I don't want y'all to feel like y'all got on this masterclass and I'm just selling all kinds of stuff. If I have something that you can use, I'll post it. If I don't, you guys, we'll talk through it. So also, finding pre-foreclosures, public notices, you guys. The public notice is when the lender or the mortgage company files that notice of sale or notice of default, like in the paper, because they have to file it in the paper to let all interested parties know that that house is up for foreclosure, okay? So you can find them at your county public notices. So let's talk about how you do that. And I'm gonna walk y'all through a couple things. So a good way to find your public notices are, you can put in Shelby County public notices, or you can ask Google, but I've got something for you guys. Let's see if this will work out for you all. Florida here. Hold on, y'all can see. Okay, cool. I'm looking at the chat. I told y'all I get distracted, but okay. Meeting group. I have, let's see if this works. Y'all will let me know if you can see this in 1 second in the chat for you. I have a list of all the county records and deeds sites for you. So let's see if y'all can see that. I dropped it in the chat. If y'all can open it, let me know. But that is a list of all the county records and deeds across the country. So if you have trouble finding it, there you go. This is what the public notices look like for in Nashville. Okay, you guys. So Nashville, you can find it, Shelby County. A lot of times your city or county will have it where you might have to pay for it, right? I live in Shelby County. They don't care about us. They put all our business out. If you are going through a divorce, paying child support, it doesn't matter. They're going to put your business in the newspaper. So it's easy for me to find the public notices here in Shelby County. This is Nashville's public notices. Y'all, disclaimer really quickly. If your name is on this list, I am sorry. If you know anybody's name on this list, I am sorry. Okay, just don't say nothing and nobody will know. So that is what the public notices look like. Okay, so it lists their auction date, it lists when their date of first notice, their auction date, name, all that kind of stuff. So that is, so for people reaching out to people in pre-foreclosure, these are some good sources to find them. Okay, everybody with me? So how do you buy a pre-foreclosure? You guys already said it's just like the homeowner is the decision maker. So if you want to buy a home in pre-foreclosure, if you are a wholesaler, because I know I got a whole bunch of wholesaler, investor, maybe even like a traditional buyer that is looking for a pre-foreclosure, you got to get in contact with the homeowner. That is the decision maker. Okay, you guys, does everybody understand that? You can't go around, you can't call the bank, you can't reach out to the foreclosure attorney. You got to talk to the homeowner. So however you can do that, right? If that means, so y'all know that I send letters, right? Can everybody see me in the screen? I do send letters, right? It's up to you. You can send letters, you can text them, you can door knock them. Y'all don't harass the people. You know what I mean? Like, they in foreclosure. They already, you know, foreclosure is a different niche. Let me say that. And I know once foreclosures start taking off, everybody's going to be a foreclosure expert, all that kind of stuff. But you kind of got to have the right, not kind of, you have to have the right mindset to deal with people who are in foreclosure because they already stressed out. They already don't know if they're going to lose their house. So just approach with empathy, okay? Because I already know how some of y'all approach. Not y'all on my class, but y'all be harassing the heck out of people. Some people do, right? I'm not saying y'all, but some people do. So just approach with empathy, okay? So, but if you do reach out to a homeowner, it would be a typical real estate sale. Like if you are buying a house, you would have a contract, you would do that. It's the typical sale. They are the decision maker. Keep that in mind, okay? But if you are, okay, let me say this. Hold on, look at me, because I'm always trying to be correct. Let me be, what am I trying to say? You guys, you can reach out to a homeowner. I know a lot of people who are like traditional home buyers who are looking for a house want to reach out to people in pre-foreclosure. If you don't have a real estate license, you guys, you're going to need to you're going to need to seek some kind of legal advice. I would not tell somebody without a real estate license to negotiate a contract. Right now, if you reach out to somebody in pre-foreclosure, they want to sell, then you need to get somebody else involved, like a foreclosure attorney or real estate agent. Because they're going to be like, bring me the earnest money. And you're going to be dropping off earnest money in somebody's mailbox and you're not going to ever see it again, right? So seek some professional assistance if you're not a real estate agent, an investor, or somebody like that. That's all I'm saying, okay? Don't try to buy a house and you have no knowledge on how to buy a house. Is all I'm saying. So let's keep going. Yeah, I see your motto. Yvonne, you showed up to somebody's house and they was mad. I bet you they were mad. You can't go to people's houses. You got to lead with love. Everybody knows that's my methodology. Lead with love. Okay. Lead with love. That's all I can tell you. So let's keep going. I see everybody. Y'all look at everybody. Okay. Let me change the screen. We moving right along, you guys. Look at us. Okay. Because y'all know I can talk. If you've ever been in my masterclass, then you know your girl can talk. So I'm trying to stay on track here. So again, buying a pre-foreclosure, same process as buying a typical property. Get a home inspection. Y'all, you know what I'm saying. You can use traditional financing. It's the same process as buying a normal, typical house. FHA, conventional, VA, boom. Okay. Keep all of that in mind. Make sure you do a home inspection, you guys. Do a home inspection. So, okay, you guys, look, I always do this. Stop, share, so y'all can. If you're a real estate agent dealing with people in foreclosure, okay? If you're a real estate agent, investor, whoever you are, dealing with people in foreclosure, do not try to outrun an auction, okay? You need to let the bank know or the lender know that you want to buy that property, okay? I have auctioned off houses that were under contract. I have auctioned off houses that were pending, right? And I'm sure that buyer was upset. I'm sure everybody was upset. Let the bank know if you are going to buy that property, okay? Just let them know they will probably postpone everything. You know what I mean? They will probably postpone that auction depending on how far out it is, okay, you guys? So that's what I'm saying. And as a real estate agent, a lot of real estate agents call me and say, I'm dealing with somebody in foreclosure. What do? I say, you need to talk to the lender and let them know that that homeowner is selling, or they will auction off that house and you have it on the market. I've auctioned off plenty of houses that were on the market. So just be mindful. Everybody understand what I'm saying on that. Let the bank know if that's what you're doing, because a homeowner will be like, I'm going to sell in the auction on Friday. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's happened plenty of times. I've seen it happen plenty of times. So real estate agents, talk directly to the lender and let them know that you want to sell that property. Everybody clear? All minds clear? And here, like I said, if I have something, you guys, I do have letters. I have real estate letters, foreclosure letters, probate letters. If you don't know what to send, grab one of those. I will drop the link in the chat. I think like 200 of y'all have bought letters, okay? So one more thing, because y'all always ask me this. Y'all gonna get everything on this little masterclass today. I'm telling you, I'm teaching y'all everything. So y'all got the letters. I see everybody in the chat. Yes, thank you guys. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown, because some of y'all get in your head and y'all have analysis paralysis and won't send anything. So, because you don't have to get my templates, y'all can make up a letter and send it, right? But what I do when it comes to my letters are, just send me a, Natalie, send me an email and I'll send it to you. I'll resend the link to you. I hand address all of my letters. I hand address the envelope. My letters do not change though. Everybody with me? If I send something, so if y'all want to reach out to pre-foreclosures and have no idea where to start, you don't want a cold call because you don't want to get cursed out. You don't want a door knock because, you know, I mean, I live in Memphis. So you guys, I send letters. Just so you know, I hand address every envelope. I hand address because people are more likely to, you know what I mean, are more likely to open up a letter if it's hand addressed, okay? I do that. I use bright envelopes. I don't send white envelopes. White envelopes look like bills, okay? So get you some bright envelopes, hand address it. I send one letter. My letter is exactly the same to everybody. It just says hello. It does not say hello, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jackson, none of that. It just says hello. And they're all the same. And I mail them out. Boom. Everybody clear on that? So, because I know y'all going to ask me, where do you mail? What do you do? I do the same thing every week. I have been mailing every week for the last 3 years. Okay? Everybody clear on that? Come on, Yvonne, sending out 25 letters. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. Yes, you put hey and some put hello. You guys, if it's the holidays, I'll put happy holidays. It's the beginning of the year, I'll put happy new year. But I do not put hello, Mr. Jackson, I don't put none of that. You guys, everybody get the same letter. Come on, you sent out 75 letters. That's what I'm talking about. I know y'all trying to catch the wave before it comes. I got you. So I do have foreclosure letters, probate letters, and the newest letters are driving for dollars. So, because I know a lot of y'all drive for dollars. A lot of y'all are like, Ashley, do you got door hangers? Y'all, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, okay? So let's keep going. Remember Steve, okay? Let's go back to Steve. So Steve lost his job during COVID. Steve is 3 months behind on his mortgage. Now, Steve just received a certified letter in the mail. That was probably that notice of default, that notice of sale. Our boy Steve is in foreclosure. I know Steve is smiling, but he is stressed out. That's a stressed out smile on Steve's face. His wife's stressed out too. All of them stressed out, him and the 2 kids. So Steve is officially in foreclosure. Let's keep going. Here is a mortgage notice that I got. If I post it, it's real. I do not make up like mortgage notices. Y'all see how many months? Y'all see how much this person owes? $25,000. This is a legit, when people call me and say, Ashley, I'm behind on my mortgage, I usually say, okay. Or they're like, I'm in foreclosure. I'll usually say, okay, send me that mortgage statement so we can see. And this is a legit mortgage statement that I got. She was $25,000 behind on her mortgage. Here's another one. You guys, they were, if you read the top of this, can everybody see this? As of February 7th, 2024, you are 370 days delinquent on your mortgage. Nobody has ever called me that is 3 months behind on their mortgage. Everybody who has called me is at least a year or 2 years behind on their mortgage. So just thought everybody should know that. So the most I have ever seen, probably when past due, if we're talking about past due amount, the most I have ever seen is $76,000 past due. So that person hadn't paid in like, I mean, you know how long you have to have not paid if you got $76,000 past due on your mortgage statement, right? So I just want to share that with you. Okay, you guys, I swear I see the chat. I'm looking in the chat. Y'all know I get off. I swear I will answer the questions. I will answer all of your questions, you guys. I promise I will. So here's another one, you guys. $19,000 behind. These people weren't even in foreclosure. It's a lot of people who are like a year behind that are not in foreclosure. So, you know. Now, let's keep going. Steve has, once you get that notice, you guys, that public notice I was telling you about that I showed you. Once that notice, I live in Tennessee. I live in a judicial state, okay? I live in a non-judicial state. I live in a non-judicial state. Some of y'all live in judicial states like Florida. What else? New Jersey is a judicial state. So your foreclosure process takes longer. Here in Tennessee, I told y'all they don't care. They do not care. Once they file that notice of default, they will take your house in 30 days, period. Unless you stop or file bankruptcy or do something. It's a 30-day boom. Once that notice goes out. In judicial states, it can take longer. I think they got like 20 days to contest it. Y'all can go to court. It can drag out in those judicial states. But here in Tennessee, they're going to take your house in 30 days. So that's when I tell a lot of people, like, be very careful when you sign contracts with people that you don't know, because also another thing, let me bring up, see, y'all, I'm getting off, but let me talk, because y'all going to ask these questions and these are things you need to know. So depending on where you live, you have right of redemption, right? We'll get there when we get to auctions. In Tennessee, you guys, we do not have right of redemption. So if I auction off your house, it is gone. You cannot get it back. Now, I know with tax sales in other states, there's a redemption period that the homeowner can come back. Not here. Look, I told y'all they don't care about us here. Not in Shelby County. If I auction it off, it is gone. So keep that in mind where you live, and we'll talk about that more when it comes to auctions. Yeah, in Florida, it does take a while. Michigan, I see y'all. Okay. Georgia is non-judicial. Y'all sure are. Georgia is non-judicial. So and I'll share some auction sites with you when we get to the end, you guys, so y'all can kind of save and bookmark and check out some of these sites. And as we go along, I will share with you auctions that are coming up, because I know y'all like to see that too. What's coming up on the auction block. Because some of y'all think it's only like hood properties going up for auction. But let me tell you, big and small, they will foreclose on them all. Let me tell you that. So back to the slides. Back to the slides. Steve has 30 days to pay the past due amount. Once they get that notice of default or notice of sale, a lot of people have 30 days, you guys. If you work with people in foreclosure, I tell people in the mentorship all the time, there's a certain point in the foreclosure process that the bank will not take a partial payment from you anymore. Okay. So once if a homeowner calls you and they say, I tried to send in a payment and they sent me my payment back. Absolutely. They don't want a partial payment from you anymore. They want that complete past due amount. And if it's $40,000, $50,000, that is what the bank wants. Okay. So Steve tried, but was unable to pay his mortgage. So his home went up for ding, 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 auction. And guess who is y'all's teacher? Your auction mama. I'm your teacher. So, you know, auctions is what I love to talk about. So depending, like I said, depending on where you live, the process could take longer, judicial state versus non-judicial states. So let's talk about auctions, you guys. I know you're like, Ashley's so goofy. But you guys, what's an auction? It's when I get to the courthouse and I have a list of properties and I read them off. A lot of people are always like, Ashley, do you bid on the houses? You guys, I can't bid and auction at the same time. I cannot bid and conduct at the same time. Y'all are also like, Ashley, do you talk super fast? I don't talk super fast. A lot of people think that I talk super fast. I don't. I don't talk like what you see on TV where they be like 29, 39, 49. I don't be doing all that. I don't do that. So, but that is me at the courthouse. So they are public events. Look at me. Look, I don't need slides. I don't need slides because this is my, you know, this is what I do. So you guys, auctions at the courthouse open to the public. You guys, that's the main question that I get. Can I go to an auction? You absolutely can. They are open to the public. Car auctions, I know like car auctions, y'all gotta have like a license to go bid on cars. No, yeah, I'm at the courthouse. Like I'm on the courthouse steps. You can walk right on up. If it's auction.com, sometimes they're like in a courtroom. Auctions are open to the public. So come on, I always tell people, go to the auction. Go see what it's like. Go see how many people are there. Georgia and Texas. Georgia, where are my Georgia and Texas people? Y'all know when y'all's auctions are, right? Yes. Have I ever sold properties in bundles? I'm not going to say a bundle. I have sold, I had an investor lose their whole portfolio. It was 60 houses in his portfolio. The investor lost all of them, and I had to auction off his whole portfolio of 60 houses at the courthouse. So I've done that. I have never been like, it's 3 houses together. Boom. I have not done that. Yvonne got $100 on a property. You got it, girl. You got it. Okay, I was going to say my Texas and Georgia people. Y'all know Texas and Georgia, your auctions are the first Tuesday of the month. I see y'all. Yep. First Tuesday of the month is Georgia and Texas auctions. I will share with y'all some sites if y'all want to know where you can find auctions and just some other auction sites. Go to the auction. I don't even care if you don't have any money. Just go and just be quiet and just sit there and see and, you know, see how it goes, you guys. Yeah, I will share the sites with y'all. I got you. You guys, I got you. If you've ever been to my masterclass, y'all know it get greater later. You know what I'm saying? It get greater later. I see the chat. I see y'all. Okay, hold on. I got a question. Okay, you guys, stop share. Boom. In Texas, can I? Sure, y'all ask a question. I will try to answer your question. Is there a redemption period? It depends on your state. Foreclosurelaw.org. Foreclosurelaw.org. Y'all know I'm in Memphis, so I got a little country in me. So foreclosurelaw.org, you can check your redemption time periods. Okay. Tax sales are different from foreclosure sales, but try redemptionlaw.org. and you can find out your redemption periods. Okay. Okay, let's keep going because we got to get through these slides, right? Because I know on the East Coast it is 9:45, and on the West Coast, y'all just getting up for breakfast on the West Coast. So let's keep going. Here is a property, you guys. I always like to ask this. You guys, it went up for auction. The opening bid was $336,000. It sold for $349,000, and the investor turned around and sold it for $460,000. Do y'all think that was a good deal? So the opening bid was $336,000. It sold for $349,000. I guess he was the highest bidder. And then he turned around and sold it for $460,000. Y'all think it was a good deal? Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal, you guys? Got it for $340,000. I guess it depends on how much he put in repairs, right? And then if he got commission fees, we'll see. Here's one that is coming up. Can y'all see it? My face is in the top of it. This is in Georgia. So it is what, next week? Week after next? Opening bid is $299,000. That ain't a really good deal, you guys, if it's only worth $317,000. But sometimes Zillow is not accurate, right? Sometimes Zillow is not accurate. Opening bid is $299,000. Y'all bidding on it in Augusta, Georgia? It's September, I don't know, the first Tuesday in September. So that's week after next, right? Texas, I see y'all's comments. Yes, y'all thought it was a good deal. No deal. No deal on that last one, right? Do I reduce the opening bids? So I do what you call, hold on, let me stop share. Do I reduce? So I know a lot of times when people go to the auction, they say there's a reserve bid. There's different kinds of bids at the auction. So there's reserve bids, and then there's an absolute bid, right? Reserve bids, if you've ever bid on a property online or anything like that, there'll be like an opening bid, but it's just a starting point, right? And then you got to get a certain amount and then it will sell. That's a reserve auction, which really don't make sense to me, honestly. But they want, the opening bid is just a starting point. If the reserve is not met, they won't sell the property, right? But what I do is absolute bids. I'm at the courthouse. The opening bid is, you guys, you can bid depending on the attorney or the trustee. You can bid $1 over opening bid. Some of the attorneys allow you to bid a penny over the opening bid, and you can get the property. So if the opening bid is $50,000, you can bid $50,001 and get the property. So as long as I get my minimum, it's good to go. So it just depends. So that's the difference between an absolute auction and a reserve auction. Okay, you guys? Hope y'all, look at y'all learning stuff today. Come on. So let's keep going. We're still on auctions because, I mean, of course, they're going to be the longest slides because I'm your auction mama. So opening bid, I mean, that's not, you come to the auction to get a deal. Okay, that's how I feel. You come to the auction to get a deal on a property. You want a deeply discounted property. Honestly, this property won't sell, and we will talk about that. What happens when properties don't sell? So where do you find auction properties? Here are some sites: auction.com, Realty Track, Bid for Assets, williamsauction.com. 10x.com is a really good commercial site for you to find properties. Would you rather me just like give you all like just a list of the properties? You know, I mean, a list of the websites, or do y'all want to write them down? Y'all want me to drop it in the chat, or y'all want to write it down? Let me know. Or y'all like screenshotting this, everything that I have. So do you reduce opening bids? Taking screenshot, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Screenshot, shoddy. Y'all are funny. Okay, so I got y'all. Look at me. I got y'all. Let's see. Auction websites. Let me know if it works. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you. Boop. Let me know if that works. And then we will keep moving. Y'all screenshotting. I get it. Do what works for y'all. Okay, so keep going. Commercial. Here are some commercial sites. If you're looking for mobile homes, retail, restaurants, hotels, motels, holiday inns, storage facilities, assisted living facilities. Did I say mobile home parks? Those are like commercial sites. commercial auctions. So check the LoopNet is good, 10X is good, crexi.com is good. I will give y'all all a list of all of them if y'all want me to. But if not, take a screenshot. Read all your terms and conditions before you bid at an auction, okay? Some of them have buyer's premium. Some of them want a deposit. So just be mindful when you're bidding at an auction. Read all the terms and conditions. Me at the courthouse, you guys, there is no deposit. However, with your auction mama at the courthouse, you guys, I need all of the funds immediately as soon as the auction is over. So I always say this. So if the winning bid is $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, I need the complete amount in certified funds right there at the auction. Okay, everybody? And I prefer cashier's checks. Don't bring me cash at the auction. So keep going. If you need agriculture or land, because I know y'all are looking for land and farms, here are some good agricultural websites that you can check out. Landwatch.com, land and farm, if y'all looking for acreages because you want to build, or if you just want to get away from everybody. Boom. A lot of times they have like ponds and lakes and, you know, stables. So check out these sites, you guys. Are y'all getting in? And I'll drop them in the chat too. Don't worry. I'll drop them in the chat. And then here's another great site. If you follow me on Instagram or any place, I always post them. I actually work for them. That is one of the companies I am contracted through. And they post auctions and opening bids. And we can kind of go through them a little bit if y'all want to, you know, after we get through these slides. Okay, let's see. How can you bring the full funds on the day of the auction if you're using traditional financing with a bank? Boom. Good, great question, Ruth Simpson. Great question. So let me talk to y'all a little bit since I kind of ran through auctions. Yes, and you guys, this is being recorded and I will send the replay out in 24 hours, okay? So yes, you can absolutely come back to it and I will send it out to you. So at the auction, you guys, I don't take any kind of financing, right? At the auction, you have to have certified funds in the complete amount, right? So at the auction, VA loans, FHA, conventional, that wouldn't work for me at the auction, okay? However, that would work for pre-foreclosure, right? And we're going to talk about REOs. You can use traditional financing with REO properties, okay? When the bank is the owner. But at the auction, you guys, I only take certified funds. So people are like, what do you do? I was like, I guess if you get hard money, they would have to send the money to you and then and keep in mind, it depends on the auction. Like auction.com, I think they give you 24 hours to wire the money. For me at the courthouse, as for me in my house, in the courthouse, you guys, I got to have the money as soon as I say sold. I need the complete amount. I saw somebody say, how you get keys? Anybody want to answer that question? Anybody been to the auction and know how you get keys? You don't get keys, you guys. Right. You don't get keys.
Ashley don't have keys.
Thank
you.
You
Don't have the deed.
Thank you, Yvonne. You're right. Ashley don't have keys. I don't have keys and I don't have deeds and I don't have refunds. I don't have any of those things, you guys. So I like to say the auction is not for everybody, right? Everybody's blood pressure can't handle the auction. Let me be completely honest, because let me mention a couple of things. When you come see me at the auction, you guys, you can't see the inside of that property. You cannot, you are bidding blind. All you can do is drive by that property. Now, maybe if it's vacant and you feel like crawling through a window, you can do that. But most of the times, people still live in that house. Steve still live in that house. Right? Steve got that notice and he had 30 days to move out or his house was going up for auction and Steve didn't move in the 30 days. So now Steve is your problem. after you go to the auction and buy a property? Steve and his wife and his 2 kids still in that property. So you are bidding blind. So I always say the auction is not for everybody, right? Everybody blood pressure can't handle the auction. Okay. So keep that in mind and we can talk through it a little bit more, but the auction is not for everybody. Okay. So yeah, after you own the house, you've seen fist fights and shouting matches at some of the auctions, I can imagine. So just be very mindful. You have to do your due diligence before you come see me at the auction, okay? And we'll deep dive into that because there's some more things y'all got to look at. But I don't have deeds. Deeds come in the mail, okay? I don't have deeds, y'all. I just take your money. I auction it off and I take your money. I give you a receipt. And then that's what happens. But I don't have deeds. I don't give out refunds. So think about that. If you win the house for $480,000 and you bring me $500,000, I don't have $20,000 in a refund to give you. That's gonna come in the mail too. So you're gonna get the refund in the mail and you'll get the deed in the mail, and then your locksmith is gonna get the keys for you. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. So a lot of y'all are like, no, ma'am, that's not what we're not doing auctions. But I wanted to talk about it so y'all could see. Do they auction properties at deep discounts? Like, I see your question, Anthony. Who? No, they're not fighting with me. They're not fighting, but probably with each other. You know what I mean? They probably fighting with each other. So another thing, I'm always at the courthouse, you guys. I'm never at the house. I think a lot of times on TV, you'll see like them auctioning off in the front yard. I live in Memphis. I am not auctioning off anybody's house in their front yard. I'm not doing that. I'm at the courthouse. All of the auctions are at the courthouse. Okay. So keep that in mind. And yes, you guys, I have auctioned off a property for $500. I've auctioned off 3 properties for $500. 3 properties for $500. That is the cheapest I have ever auctioned off a property. Diana de la Paz, check out foreclosurelaw.org. Foreclosure, because I don't know everybody's redemption period, but check them out and they will help you. See, look, I had already forgot that I had slides that I had to come back to, you guys, but we got slides. So there's another one. This one is in October. So this will be the first week of October. So what I am noticing, you guys, and we'll talk about this, do y'all see when that property sold? Look at the sold date. February of 2022, you guys. I am seeing a ton of properties that were just bought post-COVID that are up for foreclosure. A ton of properties of people who are in foreclosure and they just bought in the last 2 years. This is one that is going up October. If it's Georgia, so it's the first Tuesday of October. And it looks like, okay, it's worth $578. They bought it for $520. I mean, it's probably not going to sell at auction, but who knows? And we'll keep talking about that. But I'm seeing a surge in properties that were just bought that are up for foreclosure already, which is kind of sad when you think about it, you know? But like I said, you guys, it's a lot of people who, if you bought in 2022, you guys, you could have literally just bought a house and then put it right up under the moratorium, honestly. So, you know, here's another one. This is another one in Atlanta, bought in May of 2022. It is going up for auction the first Tuesday of October. That is another one. And again, you guys, I always try to do a disclaimer. If this is your house or you know whose house this is, I'm sorry. Do not go tell them I'm on this masterclass, got their house on this masterclass, okay? So that is another one. Let's keep going. Oh, here's a deal or no deal. Deal or no deal, you guys. The opening bid was $227,000. It got bid up to $496,000. And then the investor sold it for $642,000. Was that a good deal? Do y'all think that was a good deal? He bought it for $496,000, sold it for $642,000. You know? Deal or no deal? What are y'all thinking? Yeah. Deal. Everybody's like, that's a great deal. Deal, deal, deal. Yep. Boom. That's what happens at the auction. I'm just kidding. So let's keep going, you guys, because we got to get through these slides because I know y'all got questions and I got answers, right? So a lot of people ask, and I try to share the things that I know as a real estate agent. A lot of people are like, how can a lot of people have clients who are like, I want to buy at the auction. I want to get a foreclosure. And if you're a real estate agent, you guys, y'all can get like they offer commissions at the auction, not me at the courthouse, but a lot of these sites like auction.com, they offer a buyer's commission. I know commission is all in the news right now in real estate, and we're not going down that road. But you guys, if you did not know, if you're a real estate agent and you have a client at the auction, you can get commission. That's all I want to say. Here's another auction coming up week after next. It's a duplex in Georgia. That opening bid is not low enough, but opening bid is $338 and it looks like it's worth $360. It is a duplex going up for auction week after next in Georgia. Boom. I know, no, look, y'all are like, no deal, no deal. I see y'all. Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to help y'all out so you get your coins. So like on auction.com, if you look, it'll say broker co-op available. Boom. Now, I'm not saying they're giving you 6%. I ain't saying that. But you can get something, okay? Just make sure you go through, let them know you're the agent. Boom, okay? See, there it is. It'll let you know if it's a broker co-op available. So, and then it'll tell you what you have to do. Can I use a real estate agent? Boom. Go on the sites like auction.com, Hubzu, Realty Track. A lot of them will let you use a real estate agent, okay? Or if you're a real estate agent, you can, you know, get commission if your client buys at the auction. This one's going up. This one went up for auction this week. It's a multifamily in North Hollywood. This one went up, I think, Monday or Tuesday of this week. It looks really nice, but I'm not familiar with North Hollywood, California. And I don't know what the opening bid was, but boom. Multifamilies go, apartment complexes go. I have auctioned off apartment complexes, office buildings. I have auctioned off trailers. Okay, I digress. But anyway, that one was this week. That one is this week. And this is another one coming up in Marietta, Georgia. A lot of people are like, auctions are in the hood. All auctions are hood properties. They are not, you guys. They are not. People buy their vacation houses at the auction. Okay, I just wanted to tell you that. So like I said, deeds and refunds come in the mail. If you are going to the auction, be on time. If you come into my auction, be early. I am an early person, okay? That is just what I am. I am always on time. I am always early. So be on time. You got to look for a parking spot. You got to figure out where the auction is. I know in Chicago, their auctions, like they have tax sales, foreclosure sales, everything like all in one place, you guys. So go early so you can find out where you have to bid at, okay? So keep that in mind. Who decides the opening bid price? Good question. Good question. So the opening bid typically is the loan amount that is owed, right? That is the opening bid. So if somebody just bought a house in 2022, and if you know anything about real estate, they probably still owe that whole loan. So that opening bid is going to be high. It's a lot of opening bids that are more than what the property is even worth anymore. Since a lot of people have had price reductions, these prices are coming down. If you bought at the peak of the market and you're in foreclosure, the opening bid is the loan balance. Okay, typically what it is. That's how the opening bid is set. I don't set the opening bid, you guys. You know, I'd be like, it's $5, but I don't set it. They let me know what the opening bid is after they do the loan amount, foreclosure fees, attorney fees, all that kind of stuff. That's what the opening bid is. Okay. I hope that was clear. And I'm trying to forego probably here, like, cool. Oh, you said, can I go back 2 slides? I'm sorry, you guys. I will go back again in a second. You guys, if you didn't know, I made like the best auction course ever on this planet. I think like 100 of y'all have bought it. But If you are thinking about going to the auction, you don't know how to find properties, you don't know how to do a title search, you don't know how to set your opening bid, boom, the Auction Accelerator, check it out. It's amazing, probably the best thing I've ever made. So I'll put the link in the chat. So let's keep going because we got to get through this. So Steve has 30 days to pay the past due amount or his home will go up for auction. Steve tried but was unable to pay his mortgage, so his home went up for auction. Boom. Now, but I think my head is in the way. Boom. But his house did not sell at auction because Steve just bought 2 years ago and he owed that whole loan and nobody wanted to pay the opening bid amount. So Steve's home reverted back to the bank. In class, if you have been here before, what do we call properties that revert back to the bank? If you have ever been to my masterclass before, let's see if anybody knows the answer to this. REO properties. Look at y'all. Y'all are so good. Y'all like Ashley, whatever. REO properties. So if a property goes up for auction, it does not sell. If your auction mama can't sell it, it will go back to the bank. Okay. And it is called an REO property. That's how we get, and that is the final stage of the foreclosure process when that lender repossesses that property back. So Steve's home is now an REO. Poor Steve. Poor Steve. Okay, REO properties that have completed the foreclosure process. Who owns the house at this point? You guys, I already said it. The bank. The bank owns the property at this point. So if you want to buy it, who do you have to talk to? The bank. You got to go through the bank. And now this is where you can use traditional financing, you guys. Yay! You can use traditional finance. So you can use traditional financing at a pre-foreclosure and an REO. You just got to bring your girl cash at the auction. Okay. So, well, certified funds. Don't bring cash like in paper bags and suitcases and duffel bags. Don't do that at the auction. So, but you can use traditional financing. Okay. So just so we can be clear, auction sold at the courthouse to the highest bidder. REO, properties that did not sell and are owned by the bank. Okay, let me check for questions really quickly, you guys, because I see the chat is going. FHA for REO. Yes. You can use it, but it depends on the condition. Keep in mind, FHA is a little stricter, not a little, it's stricter when it comes to repairs. So if it's an REO that needs a lot of work, it's probably not going to go FHA unless you go FHA 203K, right? If you can get that renovation loan, you can go there. So FHA, I got a slide for this. FHA, conventional, VA, USDA, all of them. You can use that, okay, when you buy an REO property. Everybody with me? The bank. What happens if the house is auctioned off for more than what they owed? Then those people, if you ever see my videos, I always say, and if your house goes up for auction, request your excess funds. If a property goes up for auction and let's say the opening bid is $300,000, it gets bid up to $400,000. The difference, that $100,000 difference, that homeowner can get it back if they know to get it back. I know a lot of people, I'm hearing a lot of people are doing surplus funds where they're helping people get this excess funds back, but the homeowner is entitled to those funds and they need to know to apply for them to get, because you know the bank is not going to call them and get on their money back, but they need to call and apply and get their excess funds. They are owed those funds. Okay, you guys, does that make sense? Yep, there we go. I see Katrina. She helped people get excess surplus funds. Boom. So yes, I know that is, you know, what people do. So that's what happens to those funds. So y'all, we're moving right along. We almost done. And then I'll take questions and all that. So here is one going up for auction. Can y'all see it? Opening bid is, well, opening bid was, I can't see it. Opening bid was $30,000. It sold for $170,000 yesterday. This auction was yesterday. Did they get a good deal on that, you think, you guys? In Stockton, California. Stockton, California was like the epicenter of the last housing crash, if y'all didn't know that. Opening bid was $30,000. Why y'all didn't call them? Y'all should have got them when they were in pre-foreclosure. And they only owed $30,000 on that house. Somebody in Stockton, California, or over there on the West Coast should have reached out to 9844 Country Meadow and made a deal with them. But alas, it sold for $170,000 yesterday at the auction. Stockton, California, y'all should have reached out to them. That would have been a good deal right there. Okay, so Steve, keep in mind, you guys, auctions, if you're going to the auctions get postponed, they get canceled because the homeowner can file bankruptcy. I cannot tell you how many times I have been at the courthouse about to auction off a property and they call me and tell me that the homeowner filed bankruptcy. You can file bankruptcy the morning of an auction and that will cancel your auction. Okay, it is so many people filing bankruptcy right now to stop their auction. It is. But that is Steve's home until I say sold. So I can be walking up them steps and I'll get a call and they say they just filed bankruptcy. And I'll be like, okay, auction is canceled. And then that is what happens. So just a little quick reminder, you guys, REOs, you negotiate with the bank. Auctions, you're bidding against other people, okay? And when I say negotiate with the bank, negotiate with the bank. We will talk about it and I will give you some tips on that. Depending on where you live, auctions can be competitive, you guys. Here at the courthouse, I've been auctioning probably 8 years at this point. Literally, it's like the same 6 people at the auction the whole time I've been here. I know all the guys at the auction, same people. But I know like in Georgia, Texas, Florida, y'all be having a whole bunch of people at the auction. It's crowds of people, especially in Georgia and Texas. The good thing about the auction, you can hear other people's bids. So you don't like bid over, but you can hear what they're saying. With REOs, you can negotiate, you guys. Negotiate, you guys. Negotiate with the bank. I know when I had, this is before, like now I listed a REO property with the bank, but you can go back and forth at least 3 times with the bank, you guys. That's why I'm like, lowball them if you can. But I know I went back and forth with the bank at least 3 times on an offer. So don't feel like you got to give the bank full price, right? Because they're going to hit you with the fees anyway. So, but you can negotiate. You can't negotiate with me at the auction, right? Whatever that opening bid is what the opening bid is. Okay, you guys. You come in with your $100, Yvonne. If someone's house goes up for auction, they redeem it back, do they still have excess funds? Ooh, that's like a good trick kind of question. If someone's house goes up for auction, boom, and they redeem it back, boom, do they still have excess funds? So when they reclaim their property, like if somebody, and I hope this answers the question, if I sell a property and the homeowner comes back, they have to pay whatever was paid, right, to get the property back and any fees and all that. But that's a good question. If you got like bid up, I mean, oh, that's a good question. Because I mean, I feel like, yeah, like if I dropped off $400,000 for your house and then you come back and reclaim it, I want my whole $400,000 back, right? I don't want just the opening bid. So, but I know they have to pay the fees, interest, and all that kind of stuff to get their house back. It is rare that I have seen a foreclosure, somebody come back and redeem their property that was in foreclosure. I know tax sales, they will come back and redeem on tax sales, right? Well, tax deeds and tax liens, they can do that, right? Because, but most foreclosures, they don't come back and redeem. They still live there, but they're on the list. I think I might have missed that question. How do you find the REOs? You just go in the bank and ask. I wish, Karen, I got you. Do you negotiate with the realtor listing the REO or yeah? So yes, if it's a real estate agent listing it, then you negotiate with them, right? We're gonna get through that. You see, I stop and get off, right? Hold on, let me go through the slide. So, but yes, and look, I'm like yes and no. Karen, yes, I'm gonna tell you how you find REO properties. Boom, I got you. If it's a realtor, representing the bank. Like I'm representing an REO right now, right? So when people bring in offers, they send them to me. I talk to the bank, see what the bank wants to do, and then I go back and tell the buyer or the other agent. Okay. So yeah, you negotiate with if there's a realtor representing them. Yes. So auctions, you don't get interior access. Steve's still living in that house. And once you buy that property at auction, you are responsible for evicting them. Okay. So I always tell people lead with love, try cash for keys, see what motivates them. Y'all need some boxes. I'll bring you some boxes. You know what I mean? Cash for keys. Do not give them that cash until they are out of that property. When I purchase houses, you guys, hold on, look, because let me put my face in the screen. And I share this in the mentorship all the time. When I purchase a house from somebody in pre-foreclosure, I put on my contract, it says they will not receive funds until their property is vacant. I put that on my contract. You will not receive your funds until the property is vacant. So do that, you guys, because, and y'all are like, what funds? So, when somebody sells their property, right, they get that equity. If there's equity in the house, they receive that at closing, right? I know my title company very well. And I tell my title company, let them know they're not getting any of that equity or their what's due to them until that house is vacant. Because you're not going to take your money and stay in that house. Okay. And I learned that the hard way. So on all of my contracts, funds will not be released until the property is vacant. Feel free to steal that if you want to put that on your contracts. Okay. You learn the lesson I'm trying to help you because I learned it the hard way. Okay. So that is what I do. Now, if some people, like I had an incident where a lady didn't even have enough money to move, right? So I'll say, well, we'll give you $5,000 so you can have enough money to get a truck and move and do all that. But the rest of your money will be held until that property is vacant. So govern yourselves accordingly is all I'm saying. Do you always have to double close on an REO? Ooh, on an REO that's owned by the bank. I'm D2R group. So you're trying to do like a wholesale deal on an REO property. Let me get through these slides because then I'll start trying to answer y'all question and dissect them in my head. Give me a second, you guys. Because I got you. If you ever been to my masterclass, I got you at the end, right? It turns into like the after party after the masterclass, and I can talk to you and answer questions. So like I said, auction, you don't get interior access. So you have got to estimate repairs, right? That's why I said that is not for everybody. My seasoned investors, they can drive by a property. They know the square footage of it, 1,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's going to cost this much, per square foot. Boom. You know what I mean? So, but that's not for everybody, okay? On REOs, you can use traditional financing, you guys. Traditional financing. Ask the bank for closing costs. Ask the bank for an allowance. Ask the bank for appliances. If that house does not have it, ask the bank. You can get a home inspection. If you don't want that property, you can change your mind, you guys. You can't change your mind with me at the auction. Once it's done, I send that money off. You guys, you're going to have to talk to the trustee or that foreclosure attorney if you're like, I changed my mind. And I don't know what they say to people who change their mind. I don't know, you guys. But you can change your mind when you're dealing with the bank, okay? So certified funds only at the auction for me, you guys. Certified funds. People get cashier's checks in increments. Also, make the cashier's checks payable to yourself. Make the cashier's checks. Look, I always got to talk. Y'all know me. I got to talk. So make the cashier's checks payable to yourself, you guys. Because if you win the property, you just turn it over, endorse the back, give it to the auctioneer. If you don't win the property, you can deposit those checks right back into your bank account. Okay? A lot of people ask that. So make the cashier's checks payable to yourself. Okay? Also, like I said, I don't give out refunds at the auction. So people will get increments, right? So instead of bringing me one $100,000 cashier's check, they'll bring me 4 $25,000 cashier's checks, right? Because if you win a property for $50,000 and all you have is a $100,000 cashier's check, you got to wait on $50,000 to come in the mail. So a lot of people don't want to do that. They will get increments. Okay. Just a little tip if you go into the auction. What if a bid winner does not pay you? Then I am very upset. So I have not. No, I try to. So most of the time I know everybody at my auction again. And I announce before I start auctioning off, you have to have all of the money. You can't leave me and go to the bank and get your money or none of that. You got to have your money. If I'm in a county that I don't know the people, I will ask to see their money. So if you go to an auction and they ask you to verify that you have the money, don't feel like they're picking on you, right? They just trying to verify before they start that auction that you have enough money, okay? So should I register any agreement to purchase pre-foreclosure from the seller? Hold on, iPhone. Because you're going to have to elaborate on that before I answer that question. But I got you. Don't worry. But I'll answer it. You're just going to have to elaborate so I can understand. If you are a real estate agent and you are interested in listing REO properties, or you want to do BPOs, or you want to try to get in with the bank, you guys, here are some sites that you can register at. You know, your girl looks out for you. Your girl looks out for you. So here are some sites. You can do BPOs. You know, you got to register on these sites. Some of them might be, if they already have enough REO agents, they'll tell you. But it's a good way to start. And check out reonetwork.com, you guys. So if you're a real estate agent and you want to get into listing with the bank, check out some of these sites, you guys. Also, a lot of y'all asked me in other master classes. So let me think how to preface this. Like Fannie Mae, when it comes to REO sites like HomePath, and I'll share these, don't worry, it's coming. HomePath, HUD Home Store, Fannie Mae and all that, they do other things besides list properties. They contract for trash out people. They contract for property preservation, landscaping, all kinds of stuff. If you are a vendor and you want to get on Fannie Mae's site or become a vendor, here is a good site to check out, right? Because during a downturn or a housing market downturn, because I'm not going to say crash, I'm not saying it, but during those times, there are jobs that are in demand. Like during 2008, people needed trash out companies, right? Banks needed trash out companies, and they needed cleaning crews. They needed landscaping companies, you guys. So here is a site that you can check out. You can register, see what Fannie Mae needs. They have a list of the people and servicers they need, and you can register and, you know, maybe, you know, get your little side hustle on. You never know, but check out that site. Okay, you guys, we almost done, you guys. We are almost done. And then y'all can ask me everything you want to ask. This house went up for auction yesterday. Yesterday, it went up for auction. Opening bid, I couldn't see, was $77,000, and it sold for $109,000. Do y'all think that was a good deal? Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? Sold for 109. It looks like it's worth 236. Opening bid was 77. That was in St. Louis, Missouri. Yesterday. Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? Okay, deal. I'm seeing y'all. Y'all are saying deal. Okay. Deal. Hold on, I clicked. Okay. Here's one. I don't know if can y'all see the opening bid of it? So a lot of times, what I was saying, when people bought properties 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they owe more than what that house is worth. Here's a great example of that. Opening bid was 2.4 million. It looks like it's only worth 2.2, right? So was anybody going to buy that at the auction? No. Nobody. And I mean, unless you just got plenty of money, you just want this house and, you know. But ordinarily, no. It will revert back to the bank and become an REO property, right? So I'm expecting us to see a lot of REO properties come down the pipeline. So that's what I'm saying. These REO sites, I'm going to post them. You guys, bookmark them. There might not be a lot of REOs on the sites right now, but they're coming. It is a ton of properties that are reverting back to the bank. The opening bid is too high. Nobody wants it. The banks don't even want it, honestly. But just know that the REOs will come, okay? So, REO websites. There you go. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Truist all have their own REO sites. HUD Home Store, I think it's HUDHomestore.gov, you guys. I think it's .gov. Homepath.com and Homesteps.com. You guys are all REO sites. Like I said, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Truist all have their own REO sites. And then HomePath, HUD Home Store, and HomeSteps are all Fannie Mae, Freddie, and HUD's REO sites, you guys. I'll drop them in the chat for you too. Don't worry, you guys. But when banks keeping and selling to other banks around, look, you know, banks be doing stuff that we don't like. They probably just gonna sell the notes straight to like Blackstone and all the BlackRock. They just gonna sell. You know, Fannie Mae already selling their notes. You know what I mean? So we'll see if they make it down here to us. But you know, they already sell the notes, bundle them up and sell them to hedge funds. Craziness, you guys. Other REO sites, auction. If you go on auction.com, there is a, hold on, let me make sure y'all get that. And I'll drop it in the chat too. Don't worry, you guys. When I send out the replay, I'll make sure I put all the sites, all the PDFs and everything with it. But on auction.com, they have a space that'll say foreclosures and REOs, and you can click on REO properties and you can click on foreclosures. So you can do that. Here's another one, you guys. Like I said, opening bid is 2.7. It's only worth 2.8. It'll go back to the bank, probably. They just bought it in 2020. Y'all can see I put the background information on it. Why the opening bid is 2.7? I mean, maybe they put down a big down payment. Maybe they put down a large down payment. Because I'm like, why is the opening bid 2.7? But there's another one. Again, y'all, all kinds of property, big and small. The bank will foreclose on them all. Trust and believe. So on auction.com, this is an example. When you go to auction.com site, you can click on bank owned or you can click on foreclosure and it will let you pick from there. Also on auction.com, you can click on financing allowed and filter by properties that will let you use financing. Okay. Just so you know. REOs, like I said, you can use conventional, FHA, FHA 203K, VA, USDA loans, because it is the bank, they will take financing. And like I said, I have an REO right now, the bank will take financing, okay? So pre-foreclosures, you can use financing. REOs, you can use financing. Your girl at the auction, I need certified funds. I will not take financing. So when you buy an REO, a lot of times you do, like somebody asked, you do work with an agent. Make sure you get an inspection, you guys. That is the good thing about REO properties. They will let you do an inspection. If you find something that is too wrong with the property, you can back out of that offer, okay? Or you can negotiate, okay? Negotiate with the bank. Boom, I made a whole slide that just says, don't forget to negotiate. I'm telling you, you guys, I have an REO listing. Negotiate, okay? So negotiate with the bank. I mean, it's the bank. They got money, you know? So you guys, look, I'm here. I made it to the end. I made it to the end. You guys, go to the auction. I know a pair of sunglasses hate to see me coming because, baby, I'm always going to have on some sunglasses. So a lot of y'all are like, what do I do? What should I do? How can I prepare? How do I get ready? You guys, go to an auction. You guys, go to an auction. It's absolutely free. I know a lot of people network at the auction. If you are somebody who needs buyers for your properties, it's a whole bunch of buyers at the auction, you guys. Go. Maybe you can meet the auctioneer. You know what I mean? Like my guys here in the auction, they text me on Fridays and say, what's on the schedule for this week? And I text them back. Right? So go, you can go to an auction. You know, do your due diligence. Learn how to how to estimate repairs. You guys, like, start learning the cost of things, I would just say. I mean, a lot of y'all have contractors or do that, but I still think it's a good idea. And practice running numbers. You guys, a lot of y'all are investors, a lot of y'all are wholesalers, a lot of y'all want to get in real estate. Practice running numbers. All investors have different formulas on what they want to use to buy properties, you know, so you'll have your own formulas on what you're willing to pay for properties, but start learning that and start, you know what I mean? That's what I want to say. So you guys, I am on YouTube. If you've ever seen me, usually I'm on YouTube Sunday nights. I know a lot of y'all are like, Ashley, you ain't been on YouTube in a long time. Y'all, I'm coming back. I've got over 300 videos on YouTube about auctions, foreclosures. I bet a lot of y'all found me from YouTube, right? I think a lot of y'all found me from YouTube. So you guys, we are coming to the end. A lot of y'all always ask me, I tell y'all this all the time. I have 3 favorite movies because if you didn't know, I'm obsessed with the last housing market crash. Obsessed. I read like every book, watch every movie, every documentary. Here are 3 of my favorite. A lot of people are familiar with The Big Short. Everybody's seen The Big Short, right? If you haven't, check it out. I love The Inside Job. The Inside Job is a documentary, you guys. It's a documentary of how the market crashed, basically, what led up to it and all of that. 99 Homes, it's a movie. How many of y'all have seen 99 Homes? I know a bunch of y'all have. You guys, if you haven't, it's a lot of profanity in it. If you have kids, do not watch 99 Homes in front of your kids, okay? Unless you use profanity in front of your kids. But it's got a whole lot of profanity in it. But it's a really good movie. It's going to have your blood pressure high, but it's a good movie. Okay, you guys? So I think that is it. You guys, I'm going to stop share. And now I will. So yeah, you'll check out when is your next Shelby County auction? So Shelby County is usually on Fridays. I might have one tomorrow. I don't know if I have auction tomorrow. Shelby County is usually Fridays. DeSoto County is usually Thursdays. Nashville is usually Tuesdays. So that is, you guys. So now I will open it up to questions. Y'all found me on YouTube. You found me on TikTok. Cool. I will open it up to questions. I will try to get back to the questions. You guys, I know somebody was like, y'all gonna ask me about the mentorship. I will touch on the mentorship here shortly. But you guys, that is this. Don't worry, I recorded this. So I will send out the replay in 24 hours, you guys. But let me try to answer some questions. And you guys, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. You guys, if you've ever come to my masterclass, you know now I'm gonna really talk to you. I usually like put my arm on the chair so you know it's like really comfortable at this point. So I'm going to try to answer some questions. I think a couple of y'all wanted me to walk you through prop wire, but let me try to get some questions, you guys. Meeting group chat. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming. How much money do you usually need to win a bid? Y'all, that depends. Somebody, Teresa, like waiting to hear about the mentorship. Okay. Let me answer Teresa's question, and then I'm going to answer everybody else's question. So, mentorship, you guys, I love the mentorship. I'm so glad y'all learned a lot. You guys talk about securing. Does the masterclass talk about securing financing and investors? Masterclass. Which masterclass? So, let me pull this up really quickly, you guys. Shout out to everybody who is here. Thanks for coming. I hope y'all learned something today. About look, I even had a slide for y'all about this mentorship because y'all was like, what about the mentorship, Ashley? So I've done the mentorship for at least a year at this point. I think I've had about 40 people in the mentorship because it was a foreclosure mentorship. If y'all are like, what mentorship? I have a foreclosure mentorship that was like 16 weeks, right? Like 4 months. And I teach you exactly what I do, right? How to reach out to homeowners, all the methods that I use, all of that, right? Now, The thing about the mentorship, you guys, the best thing about the mentorship, which everybody loved. If you got the mentorship, we did a one-on-one. I do a one-on-one with everybody. And it's like, y'all, it's supposed to last 30 minutes, but most people's one-on-one lasts like 2 hours because I can talk and they can talk. And it's just like strategizing, game planning wherever you are. I help you find the notices, and we kind of come up with a game plan of where you are to find foreclosures and all that kind of stuff. And I think that was the best thing about my mentorship. So what I decided to do is, because y'all, we're going in the fourth quarter, and you know, I'm a mom, you guys. So what about the mentorship? So I created 2 things, you guys. I made a course, and it's the Foreclosure Marketing Blueprint. And I teach you exactly what I do, my workflow, how I market, all the platforms that I use to reach out. Everybody knows that I mail letters, right? But I also do like 4 other marketing things to reach out. And I take you through my entire workflow. I have recorded the screens. I have shown you everything that I do, the scripts that I use. I included some mentorship videos in it. So you can get my whole workflow, right? And you can watch it at your own pace. Boom. And I am opening up my schedule so y'all can do one-on-one sessions, because I feel like that's what people want from me. You want me to strategize with you. If you're in Atlanta, this is where you find your public notices. This is what you do. This is what I do. Here is the workflow. This is how you get started. So it is me and you one-on-one, and you can ask me everything you want to ask me, and we can come up with a strategy, a success strategy. And I think that's what a lot of people want. I get all kinds of questions like, Ashley, can I meet with you? Can I talk to you? Can we do a consultation? I get that all the time. So boom, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to open it up. I'm probably going to open it up 2 weeks at a time, because y'all, I auction, right? So I have to make time for when I work. So I kind of know my schedule 2 weeks in advance. And we can, I know it says 60 to 75 minutes, but y'all know I can talk, and I know y'all can talk. So that is what I'm going to do. And we will have sessions, and it'll just be me and you, and we can figure that out. So that is what I am doing, because I feel like that is y'all get the most value with us talking to each other directly. Okay. So all of those links I will send them out tomorrow. You can get on my schedule, and we can game plan for your whole life. Not your whole life, but y'all know what I'm saying. I think y'all would appreciate that better. So we can do a one-on-one, or y'all can get my Foreclosure Marketing Blueprint, and you can just teach yourself. You know what I mean? If you're self-motivated, you can just teach yourself. So boom. That is the mentorship and what is going on. Okay. All right. So the mentor, look, that is the one-on-one with the mentor. September is the last month of the mentorship, right? Like it lasted 16 weeks. We're coming up on September. That is the end of it. And then now y'all can just do one-on-ones. Are the different letters included in the, what? You guys, if you do the one-on-one session, I'll give you all the letters. If you get the marketing blueprint, you get all my letters. I give all my letters. And if you've gotten my letters, you guys, most time, if you reach out to me, I'll send you my letter, honestly. Just ask me and I'll give it to you. So, okay, do you have knowledge on tax lien certificates, including listings and purchasing process? So a lot of people ask me about tax liens. I did a masterclass on tax liens probably 6 months ago. That is not my jam. Tax liens aren't my jam, right? But I know the difference in them. I know there is a redemption period on them. There's a lot more competition when it comes to taxes, right? Because the point of entry is lower than foreclosure. You can buy a tax lien or a tax deed for cheaper than going to the foreclosure auction. So, I have a masterclass. I can send the link on that, but I don't think I'm an expert on tax lien certificates and all that kind of stuff, you guys. But tax liens, if you didn't know, the difference between tax liens and tax deeds, tax liens, you are buying a certificate, right? of the past due taxes. You're buying a certificate, you hold on to that certificate and it gains interest. And then if that homeowner comes back, they have to pay, you know, the tax lien amount and any interest. Boom. If they don't come back, then you get the property. That's the tax lien. Tax deed, you are bidding directly on that property, right? So tax lien is kind of two steps. You get the certificate. If they come back, you know, they get the house, they pay you. If they don't come back, then you get the house, right? So that's the difference in tax lien, tax deeds. Do you, okay, blah, 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 blah. I've been sending letters and cold calling, but it seems people have got to the homeowners first. You just got, so that's why a lot of people go public notices. That's what we were going to talk about. Shout out to everybody who's still here. All 160 y'all. So let me share my screen and we can walk through a couple of things, you guys. And now it has turned into YouTube Live. It turned into my lives on YouTube. So, what was I going to show you guys? PropWire. That was one place you can look. If you're not familiar with PropWire, it is free. You guys, can everybody see my screen? Let me put up some people's faces so I can see. Y'all see my screen? Yes, y'all can see. This is PropWire. It is free. You just sign up for it. It does not matter where you are. So let's say Atlanta, Georgia, right? It is basically a, if you're familiar with PropStream, a lot of y'all are not. It's a lead source. So I put in Atlanta, Georgia. You can filter it by lead types, right? I feel like it's an investor lead generation kind of look. I'm going to show y'all. Y'all going to see what it is. So you can put in the city. You can put in a city, an address, zip code, whatever. And you can filter it by absentee, adjustable loans, auctions, bank-owned properties. You see all this? Pre-foreclosures. Boom. So I put in Atlanta, Georgia. I filtered it by pre-foreclosures. You can do property types, single family, condo, mobile homes, multifamily, land, all of these things. Prices, bed, bathrooms. And it filtered it to 224 properties in Atlanta, Georgia. You can click on them. And then it'll bring up the properties. It'll tell you the estimated value, how much equity is in the property. They just bought that house 4 years ago in 2020. It will also tell you land information, tax information, and their foreclosure information. You get all of that, okay? You can add, y'all, look, I'm be about to go through my whole workflow real quick. You can click on owner, and I could skip trace them and get all their information right there. They give you phone numbers and everything. So that's how a lot of people like, how do you find their information? Boom. Here's a site that you can use. PropWire is a good site. It is free. It is 10 cents to skip trace. Okay. So keep that in mind. So any state, any city, any county, y'all be like, ain't no foreclosures where I live. It's some, you just got to look for them. Okay, you guys. And you can save them to a list, skip trace all of them and reach out to all of them. Okay. So boom, that is PropWire. My Georgia, hold on, let me look at the chat because I'm trying to see. Public notice, you can skip trace for free. Okay, Edie Shermaine, I got you. Y'all skip trace for free on truepeoplesearch.com. There you go. Negative equity, that means they ain't got no equity. They probably bought it in upside down on it. You know what I mean? That's what that is. How do I use 500K in equity to buy oh, was that a direct message? I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm reading y'all's direct messages out loud, Tracy. Y'all, my email is youragentashley@gmail.com. Because I see some of y'all sending me private messages and I'm reading them out loud, like they out loud messages. So what was I have? Hold on. Let me move this down because I guess I closed out my Canva. I had all my little things. youragentashley@gmail.com. You guys, if y'all got a private message y'all want to send me. Your Agent Ashley. So that is PropWire. All my, what's the difference between the Blueprint Accelerator course is auctions. The Auction Accelerator teaches you about auctions, how to find auction properties, how to bid, how to set your budget, cash for keys, contracts, all that kind of stuff. It's all auctions. the blueprint is my workflow when I reach out to foreclosures. You guys, that's the difference in that. So all my Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi people. Okay, here is an attorney site. He's a trustee. I actually auction for him. So he does properties. He has properties, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. So I said in a previous video, we already have auctions scheduled for, don't get dizzy, but I'm gonna scroll to the bottom. January of 2025. Auctions are already posted. So as you can see, here's November auctions. If you look over here to this side, November auctions, this is Georgia. So Georgia, November auctions, I will drop this site in the chat for you all to bookmark this site. So everybody who's looking for pre-foreclosures, guess what these are? These people's auctions aren't until October. They aren't until November. You can reach out to these people and, you know, offer your assistance, everybody. These are pre-foreclosures. They have not gone up for auction yet. So you have to deal with the homeowner like we talked about. So I'm going to drop this site in the chat so y'all can bookmark them. If you look up here when we were talking about excess funds, excess proceeds. So if he auctioned off your house, and there's money left over, the homeowner, if you are a successful bidder from a foreclosure auction, please contact them. If you are a borrower who has been foreclosed upon, please reach out to our excess proceeds team. So if people reach out to you and say, how do I get my excess funds? You need to contact that foreclosure attorney or the trustee. The foreclosure attorney is basically who they get their funds from. Okay, so that is a site. So those are, like I said, that is, I dropped it in the chat so y'all can have that site. But these are Georgia auctions. These are the ones coming up on September 3rd. I was trying to see if there's any opening bids. Y'all know Bibb County was #1 for July of the county with the most foreclosures. Highest rate of foreclosures was Bibb County. There's a couple of opening bids, just in case y'all didn't know that. How you found this law firm site again? I dropped it in the chat. Brandon, can you see that I dropped it in the chat? RLSE Law. If you want to find other, I got a little secret tip for you guys. If you're not on PropWire, here is a secret, not secret, but if you go to auction.com, okay, you guys, follow me here. Follow me. Follow me this way, you guys. If you're on auction.com, and let's say we put in Dallas, Texas, and yes, let's see, that's bank owned. We need a foreclosure sale. If you click on a property that's up for foreclosure, that's up for auction, I'm about to show you how you find attorneys. If you scroll down to foreclosure contact info, boom, that will show you attorneys that do foreclosures or trustees. And what I would do is I would find your city, click on foreclosure contact info, drop them in Google and see if they have a website. And then you can find foreclosures before everybody else finds them if you are looking for pre-foreclosures. But that's a little tip. You want the foreclosure contact info. So Brandon, I hope that answered your question. Right. Okay. Let's see. Moving right along, you guys. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Tracy, you said I can answer your question. What your question was, what would I do with $500,000 of equity? Is that what you asked me to buy properties? How do I use $500,000 in equity to buy properties? If I were you, because me personally, you guys, I'm waiting until after this election, right? I'm going to get through this election and then I'm going to see what happens with this housing market. Now, if it's a great deal, discounted price, boom, I'm all for it. But if I was somebody looking to buy some properties you better negotiate. That's all I can say. I see all these home values coming down, and you don't want to be upside down in a month. Negotiate for sure if you're buying a property. But I'm going to do my best to hold out until after this election, honestly. So thanks, you guys. I'm trying to share everything that I can share with you. Public notices. Did I show you how to find public notices, you guys? Can you please put the site to find redemption periods? I think it is foreclosurelaw.org. Foreclosure law, if I'm not foreclosure law. Boom. Foreclosurelaw.org. And then you can kind of click on each state and see judicial foreclosures, yes. Timeline, right of redemption, no. Like, I think this is a foreclosure law. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Foreclosurelaw.org. I'll drop it in the chat for y'all. Meeting group chat. Foreclosure law.org. Boom. Bought for 127,000. Now it's worth it. You did good, Tracy. Good job, Tracy. Absolutely, you guys. You know, I try to share. I hadn't been on here in a while. You live in an REO. My last house was an REO. It was a foreclosure that I got. So y'all know me, I'd be looking for a deal. I can't buy nothing on market. I cannot buy anything on market that's just not in my blood. I just can't do it. I can't pay full price for any houses. I just can't do it. When I know that I can get a better deal. So y'all know I want my Florida house for $29.17 is the plan in foreclosure. Let's see. So Renee, I read your question. Am I missing any questions, you guys? Was I supposed to share anything else with you all? I don't think, was I supposed to share anything with you? We should, blah, blah, blah. Did I get everybody's questions? I hope I got your questions, you guys. Hopefully that I did. Hopefully y'all learned something from this masterclass. I see all of y'all. Let me get a picture real quick. Y'all don't have to turn on your cameras because I know some of y'all probably in bed, laying down, doing the dishes. I understand. But let me at least get one picture, you guys. It's a whole bunch of y'all on here. Okay. Look at y'all turn on the cameras. I'm going to count to 3. I see you, Wanda Brown, over there. I'm going to count to 3. So if you want to turn your cameras on, you can turn it on. Okay. 1. I'm going to give y'all time. 2, 3. If y'all want to turn your cameras on. I see all the cameras popping on. Okay, here we go. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, you guys. Okay, hold on. It's like 7 pages of y'all. Okay, everybody on this page got their cameras off. But okay, you guys. Did I get everybody's question? Did I get your question? Let me go back to page 1 because page 1, everybody got their cameras on. Thank you. Page 1.
No, you didn't answer my question.
Okay, I'm ready. Who was had a question? Okay, I see you pointing, Marilyn. Talk to me.
Yes. My question is, how do you apply at the bank for the REOs? You showed us once. I want to see what the qualifications are. Do you have to be a realtor for a certain time to get a job as a REO at a bank? Or
Okay,
is it who you know, like if you've been a realtor a long time in the city, or can somebody new get their real estate license and then apply as a REO at Bank of America or Wells Fargo, or I'm not sure what the application requirements are. Yeah.
I got you. So you're
Thank
asking
you.
as an agent, like how do you list REO properties? That's what you're asking me, right?
No, I want to know, how do you apply to work for the bank to work on REO properties?
Oh,
How do
so
you
the
become an
vendor,
employee?
like
Yeah,
the
the
vendors
vendor.
that I was talking about.
Yes.
Right. So that procure one, because that's a difficult word to say. Procure one. You go
Procurement.
on there. Let me see if I can go on there real quick. I see y'all still in the chat asking questions. What is that site? Procure One. There it is. Fannie Mae. So where vendors sign up. Let's see. I think if I go back, I think I put this on here. Hold on. Welcome to Procure. Look, okay, let me click on contracting opportunities. So you just go on here. You got to go through the process. Like they make you register. You got to probably put your EIN number and that kind of stuff. I don't think you have to have a special relationship with the bank, but you got to register your business. And like I said, y'all make sure it's a legit business. Don't be using Cash App. Don't use none of those other things. It's got to be like a legit business. And they probably want to see, you know, the business, probably ask you something about it. I have not gone through the whole process, but I was trying to see if you can. I'm on Fannie Mae suppliers. So Fannie Mae works with suppliers to deliver products and services, and they'll have, let's see, contracting opportunities. You click on, okay, hold on, not that site. Let me go back. I'm close though, y'all. Hold on. For more information, new suppliers need to create a profile in our supplier management system, right? And you can go on there. They did have like a list. You guys, but you go on there and check, but it said you just sign in and create your page. You know what I mean? Tell about your business and that kind of stuff. But that's how they, I was trying to see, they did have like a list of contract opportunity. They had a list. It was like a PDF and it showed like what they were looking for, like what kind of contracting, but I can't find it now. But go on here, go on here and for my birth one kind, please use this guy. But yeah, go on here and you know, play around on the site and see. But they had a whole list. I just don't know how to get back to the site now. Need suppliers, new suppliers need to create. See, look at there. Boom. You just go on here and follow the step 1, 2, and 3. Look at there. Boom. And it tells you how to sign up your business to be a vendor for Fannie Mae. And I'm sure Freddie Mac has one. Fannie Mae has one. HUD has a site where you can sign up as a vendor. If I were you, I'd probably sign up early. Like, so if you do clean out, if you do, somebody said they do property preservation, cleanings, trash out, landscaping, you know what I mean? Like, boom. So check out that Fannie Mae and click on. See, look at there. Goods or services that Fannie, boom, I found it. Look at God, I found it. And it tells what they look for, what they need. Let me see if I can drop this in the chat for y'all. So everybody who has a little side business or a main business or want to start a business, whoop, there it is. Okay, there it is. And then I just dropped that in the chat for you. Thank you, you guys. Yep, email. Thank you, you guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can the property owner in pre-foreclosure decide to sell the house without the bank? Yes. Yes, Cynthia. Yes. 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 Yes, Cynthia.
Hey, how can I get my real estate license?
How can you get your I guess you said, Ashley, you take it too long to answer my question. How you get your real estate? You got to sign up for the class, you guys. You go through the hours, you take the test, right? I got licensed 18 years ago. I went every weekend for like 2 months is how I got mine. Then you take the test and then you sign up with a brokerage. Did I answer your question, HT? Because I guess he said, Ashley, you taking too long to HT. I see you. I'm asked to unmute. Did I answer your question? Yes.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, study for it.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm hear you. What? Tell me where you. I don't.
I have a question.
Okay.
Uh, if you are in another state and you want to purchase an REO or any kind of foreclosure in another state, how do you go about doing that?
So, okay, let's talk about if it's a pre-foreclosure, you still talk to the homeowner. So you would reach out to the homeowner. I guess you would need boots on the ground, you know what I mean, to do inspections and that kind of stuff. Just because if you talk to the homeowner, you can go in the house, you can do an inspection, you can negotiate the terms with that homeowner or your agent. At the auction, somebody can bid on your behalf. You can have people bid on your behalf at the auction. So if you're out of town, you can have your friend go to the auction and bid for you. I think your biggest thing is doing inspections and just making sure the property is how you want it to be. I would say you need boots on the ground, or at least come visit. You know what I mean? If you're buying a foreclosure out of town. Does that make sense?
Don't do it yet. Don't do out of town.
Okay. All right. Did I hold up? That was in front of okay. So Cynthia, can the property owner in pre-foreclosure decide to sell the house? Yes, it's their property. They can decide to do whatever they want with that property. They are the decision maker. That's why a lot of people, I have a ton of people who are like, Ashley, the auction gets bid up too quickly. I can't do the auction, Ashley. It's too many people, too much competition, and I don't have cash. So I'll say, why don't you reach out to the homeowner and see if you can talk to them directly instead of competing at the auction, right? Because at the auction, you got to have cash, you in competition, and you can't see the inside of that house. If you can get that door of communication open with that homeowner, you know, you can, it's just you can get financing. It's your typical, if you need 30 days to close on that property, you got 30 days to get your financing. So it might just be better to go that route. That's how some people ended up in my mentorship. They was like, Ashley, I went to the auction. It got bid up. What do? I said, well, maybe go to the source, right? See if you can get in negotiation with that homeowner, basically. Marilyn Ashley said, okay, thank you, y'all. When reaching out to homeowners, do you need to be concerned about if they are on the do not call list if you're an agent? And then Edie jumped in and said, I don't, because I'm not selling them. I'm a wholesaler. Do not call. Okay. So when it comes to calling people, you guys, I always lead with love, right? I ain't calling them to harass them, right? I'm calling to lead with love. I know I'm not a fan of cold calling, first of all. That is not my jam. I'll do it if I have to, but I have other marketing ways that I reach out to people without getting cursed out, okay? So, but if you know, I just kind of apologize. You know what I mean? Like my motto is, which is not the best motto, but you know, I ask for forgiveness and not permission all the time. So just don't call them and be like, I want to buy your house. I know you're in foreclosure. You're going up for auction. You're about to lose your house. Sell me your house now. Some of y'all's approach is wrong, right? That's why they call me, because y'all's approach is wrong, right? When I reach out to people, I'm here to offer my assistance, right? And that is a lot of time. I lead with love, right? I ask people when they call me, do you want to keep your house? If they say yes, well, I'm going to help you do everything I can to keep your house. You can keep your house. Do you want to sell it? Okay, well, I'll help you sell your house. It's not, I can close fast, no repairs, none of that. That's not my method. Okay. I lead with love. That's what I do. And it has worked for me. It has absolutely, when people read my letter, they're like, your letter was so much nicer than everybody else's. Because even on my letter, if I have one right here, I do have a letter. Not that y'all can see this, but on my letter, it's like, if you're behind due to COVID reasons, reach out to this number. They offer COVID assistance if you need COVID help, right? And I think people are like, well, dog, she is like, even if you don't call me back, I'm going to leave you with some information that might can help you. And I think people are like, okay, well, she is legit and nice. And that's what I say when they call me. If you want to keep it, there has been times where I've gone to people's houses. A man lost his wife during COVID and was in foreclosure, and he just needed help filling out like the modification paperwork. He didn't know what to do or how to do it. And I just went over there, helped him fill out that paperwork, and kept it moving, right? Did I get paid? Nope. But you know, it's not always about that, you know? So that my method is different than everybody else. Marilyn, I see you with your finger up. Yes, ma'am. Talk to me. What was you about to say, Marilyn?
Hello, I'm trying to unmute. I'm a little nervous, but I'm in the state of Florida, and I've been through it all.
Yeah.
I got my house out of foreclosure. My house went to auction. I experienced it all. I got my house had sold, and I went to see what they was offering for the keys, because in Florida you have a 10-day window after the foreclosure.
Right.
I've written Fannie Mae, I've written people and told them my history. And when they call on the phone in the courthouse, they
Yeah.
said we rescind the foreclosure and we abate the sale. They gave me my house back. I
Look at
did all
you.
that on my own.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, in the state of Florida.
So good.
You can get it back, like you say.
Okay, come on,
And the
Marilyn. Marilyn,
modifications, I done been through modifications in Florida. I
everything.
done
Marilyn
did it
got a
all.
testimony. Come on, Marilyn.
Yes, yes, I've been through it all. But the house did get an auction, and they got an auction for only $11,000 because I couldn't come up with it. I was going to file bankruptcy, but I didn't know to go file bankruptcy. I didn't know anything,
I
what
know
else to do to
people
stop the auction.
don't like, and that's the other reason why I make videos and all that kind of stuff is because we always talk about, y'all, I go to like the first time home buyers class and I talk to people. I know I'm like the Grim Reaper when I come in there, but we don't talk about that. We talk about how to get pre-approved, how to buy a house, the keys, and you're so happy about a house, but people don't know what to do when they miss a payment. Like, we don't talk about what happens when you get behind on your mortgage, right? It's so many people who are just like, I'm walking away. And I'm like, what you mean walking away? I'm walking away from my house. I'm like, yo, you got options. Like, you don't have to walk away from your house. Like, but people don't know that because we don't talk about that. So that's why I try to at least educate people. And I do go to the first time home buyers class. I'm like, if you get behind, you have options. Don't just walk away. I had a man call me and he called me, they were walking away from their house. He was like, we're leaving tonight. That's what he told me. He's like, we about to leave before they come. And I'm like, I said, before who come? He was like, before they come for the foreclosure. I was like, ain't nobody coming to your house tomorrow or the next day to get your house, right? But you don't know, right? You only, when you watch TV, you see people's stuff sitting out on the curb and you don't know, right? Like if you get behind on your mortgage, you like, well, they might come and just set my stuff out. And I told him, I said, that's not how it happens, right? If you go into foreclosure, even if your house goes up for auction, they got to go through an eviction process. They got to go to court. People go to court. The judge might give you some more time. Like nobody is coming in the middle of the night to put your stuff on the curb. And he was like, thank you so much. I said, I know I lowered your blood pressure. And he was like, you did. Because I think they was going to a hotel. He was like, I'm leaving before they come. I'm like, ain't nobody coming tonight to get your stuff. So, but people don't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? So that's why I do this, you guys. That's why I do it. Did I get, um, that's right. Teach them how to stay in their home. They don't want us to know how to say that. I know they're going to sell your notes to hedge funds. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get on my soapbox. What if a person files bankruptcy but still get foreclosed on? Are there stipulations to a bankruptcy? So let me be honest. I don't know the rules of bankruptcy. I see a lot of people filing bankruptcy and now they're just postponing their auction. Like it's not even canceling it anymore. They are postponing, I guess, giving them a chance to, I don't know the ins and outs of bankruptcies. You guys, I have plenty of people who call me and say they were discharged from bankruptcy and now they're in foreclosure again. So I think bankruptcy will save you for a little bit. It will postpone you for a little bit, but I don't want to even act like I know the ins and outs of bankruptcy, but it will cancel your auction. If you need some more time, you can file bankruptcy for sure. But I have people who file bankruptcy and then in a month or so they back on the foreclosure list. So, it's I see it all the time.
Can I say something to that, Ashley?
Absolutely.
It's Danielle. A lot of people file bankruptcy to stop the foreclosure, but they don't follow through with the bankruptcy. They have 2 weeks to finish the filing and they never finish. And then the lender gets wind of it and it's right back in foreclosure. So that's usually what happens. And at that point, the lender won't give them any more options. They have to come up with the full payment or it's going to auction.
See, good looking out. And I'll show you. Here's another site in case y'all didn't know it. And it's a auction site, nationwide, nationwide nationwide posting. There it is, nationwide posting. It is a auction site, but it also shows, which is alarming to me a lot of times, you'll just see how many people are filing bankruptcy to stop their auctions. Trustee sale information. I accept these terms. So I'll drop this in the chat. If you're in any of these states, can y'all see my screen? Yeah. Arizona, California, Hawaii, Idaho, any of them, right? They post auctions. So I'm going to select all states. Let's just say from the 19th through, I don't know, we'll do September. But it shows why the auction was canceled, and you'll be able to see how many people filed bankruptcy. Hold on, I'm so impatient. My computer is like, just wait, Ashley. Okay. So can y'all see my screen? Yes. Yes. Okay. So if you look over here, it'll show postponed, right? You'll see postponed, postponed. Let's keep going, but we'll get there. Postponed, sales scheduled. So many auctions postponed. Let's see. There's some postponed by bankruptcy, Let's see. Last time I checked, it was like the whole list was like postponed, but this is some vacant land going up for auction. It's a lot of investors going into foreclosure, a lot of builders going into foreclosure. I see it all the time. I see a lot of Georgia investors in foreclosure, actually, which I was not surprised that Bibb County was. See, look over here. Can y'all see on this side? Postponed. There we go. Postponed by bankruptcy, bankruptcy, bankruptcy. I think, some people just use it as a stalling tactic. And I mean, I get it. Like if you need some more time to stay in your house or move, there it is. But I'll drop this site in the chat for y'all too. So y'all can check out some auctions if you live in those areas, you guys. Boom, hold on. Meeting group chat, I dropped it. So save that, y'all can bookmark that site. But it's a lot of bankruptcy, it's a lot. I mean, life, you know what I mean? Life be lifing, right? You know what I mean? Like life has punched me in the face too before, right? And what do old people say? If it hasn't, you just keep on living, right? So I don't judge anybody for if you get behind on your mortgage, I mean, life happens. So,
Ashley?
yep, I'm here.
So what exactly happens after they file on bankruptcy?
So it's fun, I'm just the messenger. So they call me and tell me it's canceled. And I know I don't auction it off. So I don't know if I have a bankruptcy attorney friend, and they file like an emergency stay to stop it if the people file bankruptcy. And then I guess they start the bankruptcy process, right? So again, you guys, I haven't been in bankruptcy, you guys. So forgive me for being ignorant to the subject, but don't they like gather up your bills and what you owe when you come up with the payment, like, or something like that, right? And so
they get a court date, and at that court date, the judge tells them what they need, but most of them don't go to the court date, so it gets thrown out, and then they're back in foreclosure again.
So that's, yeah. So most of them, when you see bankruptcy, it's just postponed. So you saw the date, it was like postponed by bankruptcy, but it's rescheduled for auction again. So a lot of people are like, should I reach out to people who filed bankruptcy? You absolutely can. If they are in pre-foreclosure, if they're in foreclosure and they file bankruptcy, you can still reach out to them. Okay. So keep that
Ashley?
Yep.
So, it's Tracy, and I'm the one who bought the house in East Point, Georgia.
Okay.
It was a foreclosure in 2008. I bought it for 127, and it was REO at the time.
Yeah.
And it is now worth 640 something thousand.
Yeah.
So any property in East Point, Georgia is there are funds that are earmarked for there's an area of within like the first I want to say 5 mile radius of the Atlanta airport.
Okay.
East Point East Point falls into that area, and there's a project called Aero Atlanta, AERO Atlanta.
Somebody in my last masterclass jumped on here and said that too, about that area in Atlanta. And it's a project going.
Yeah.
Somebody else talked about that. Yeah.
It's federal funds, and they are it was earmarked years ago, but a lot of money has been dedicated to the Metro Atlanta area in circumference of 5 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 40, and so on and so forth
Yeah.
of the Metro of Atlanta itself. So, in this, and I'm sorry, of the Hartsfield Airport
Yeah.
specifically.
So
So,
for
any
people to buy
properties that are
land,
contained, yeah, so any properties that are contained within that area are going to skyrocket in value because of all the federal funds as well as corporate money that has been planned 10 years ago to develop this area. So any foreclosures that you find in East Point, they're going to take off. So any property in East Point is going to be a good deal. And I know that because I live in East Point and I saw how I've been in Atlanta for 30 years. I moved from Pennsylvania. But I
yeah.
saw how the city how the city changed. And I've bought 3 houses. My first house was a foreclosure. My
Yeah.
second house was in a subdivision. It was a build, and the third house I'm in right now was also a foreclosure. And it's the best way to buy a house if you're going to
Well,
live in it, especially because you can find foreclosures that are in moving condition, and mine was.
look at me. I didn't already listen to Tracy. Shout out to Tracy because somebody else mentioned that area. So I went on PropWire, which is what I would do if I was like looking in that area. And I put in East Point, Georgia. I filtered it by pre-foreclosures. Everybody in the class, if y'all look at me. Now it's turning, well, it's still a master class. It's turned into hands-on. You could filter it by tired landlords, vacant homes, vacant lot, zombie properties. Zombie properties are people who are in foreclosure that have walked away from their house. Okay. That's what a foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, they have walked away from their house. So I filtered it. It came up with 15 results in East Point, Georgia. And I'm going to walk y'all through my little
And I
work.
know,
Go ahead, Tracy.
I bet you I know the properties because I get around on a mobility scooter, and I
Yeah.
bet you I know those properties.
Well, look at Tracy.
Because I see them all the time. They drive me bonkers.
Everybody say thanks, Tracy. So if you're
But
in
yeah,
Atlanta or Georgia, that, and let me show you guys, this is what I do when I work my foreclosure list. I find my list, my public notices, or whatever I do. If you don't know where to find your notices, you can just put in cities, states, zip codes. It pulled up 15 results, and you could go through these, right? There's a house owner, skip, oh, it's owned by a investor. You can see that one. They own 9 properties. And that's how you can find. So if you want to even invest out of state, you guys, you can go to PropWire, go to PropStream, put in counties, cities, addresses. If you drive for dollars, you can put in addresses in PropWire. You don't have to do like zip codes, cities, counties. If you find an address, you can put the address right in there and skip trace it or mail to them. That's a way that you can reach out to homeowners, you guys. So,
Good job.
iPhone, I see you. Were you about to say something? Okay. Barry, you was about to say something?
Yes, I have a quick question.
I'm ready.
Thanks for the information you shared. It was fantastic, and
You're
thank
welcome.
you. The trustees,
Yes.
is that the trustee of a trust that bundled the mortgages together and put them into the market, or is it trustee from an individual trust? Could you elaborate on that a bit?
So look, I'm gonna tell you what I know, Barry. Look, so a lot of times, like when banks and lenders and mortgage companies foreclose on people, it's not. So if it's Bank of America will hire a foreclosure attorney, or they will hire a trustee to represent them, right? It's not Bank of America. Once you're okay, let me back up. Once this property or your file goes into foreclosure, the bank turns it over to their attorney or their trustee and says, you go collect my money. It ain't Bank of America. They're not going to waste their time doing it. they giving it to the trustee and they giving it to a foreclosure attorney. That's who serves you that paperwork, the certified notice of sale. That's who files the paperwork. And that's who contracts me to auction off your properties. So it's a trustee, as in like the person who represents, look, Barry, look. It's the trust, like,
I'm sorry.
Let me help you with it.
Go ahead.
Because I know after we purchase the property, they move it off, they give it to a trust bundles it up, and a trust pushes it into the financial markets.
Right.
So
right.
I'm assuming it's that trustee that bundled it who wants the money back that for the foreclosure.
So it could be because like when I auction off, so it depends on like, because sometimes I'll get contracted by trustees or foreclosure attorneys to contact me to auction off the property. And they do collect the money because that's who I send the money to, the trustee or the foreclosure attorneys. And even when homeowners call the bank will say, call the trustee or call that foreclosure attorney, and they will give you the information. So, Barry, hold on, because I see everybody little light lighting up green. So I'm like, so Barry, I hope I didn't really answer your question, but
thank you.
Yes, look at me. Look, yes, okay. You're welcome.
Actually, the trustee and the attorney that represents the bank, they're actually separate.
There we go.
The bank, what the bank does is that they would send your, or say, loan to the attorney's office that's representing that bank. But then you have a trustee, for example, you have a trustee per county. Like, for example, here in Texas, we'll say in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you have a trustee for this that represents Dallas County. You have a trustee that represents Tarrant County. And so any information you would get that from, as far as your loan or your foreclosure, for example, would go to whatever attorney that mortgage company or your bank hires to represent the firm.
Yeah. And right.
And the biggest,
go ahead, iPhone.
And actually the biggest obstacle that people run into is not so much missing the court date, because technically when you go out there, someone goes out and files bankruptcy. I mean, of course, that attorney's office, they don't mind, collecting the $3,500 or $1,500 up front or whatever, because you have about 90 days. The key word here is confirmed. And that's the biggest obstacle that most people run into, is getting confirmed. If that whoever you hire as your bankruptcy attorney, if they can't get you confirmed, then you kind of you right back where you started at. And plus, you still have that stain of having the bankruptcy on your credit file for 7 years or so. So that's the biggest obstacle, is getting confirmed.
Yikes. And another tip I'll give y'all, because I do work with, like, I do buy pre-foreclosure and things like that. A lot of times the thing that I'm noticing homeowners run into is that foreclosure is showing up on their credit. So a lot of times if you want to buy a person's house who's in pre-foreclosure, their first question is going to be like, where am I going to go? Right. And so I've run into people who are like, even though their house did not go into completed foreclosure, right? It didn't go to auction or any of that, it's showing up on their credit. So I've had like a guy who I bought his house. He said, I went to go look for an apartment and that foreclosure is already showing up on my credit. So it's hard. That's something that I have to remind people. And I mean, they know, because if they haven't paid their mortgage in a couple of years, it's challenging to find someplace else to go after they have been late on their mortgage or they've got a foreclosure sitting on their credit. So that's something I always warn people about. I'm like, where are you going to go? And they're like, well, I can find something. I'm like, keep in mind, your credit is not going to be great to go someplace else, or that foreclosure might be showing up on your credit.
Right. And what they could do is, if they know they're going to be moving out of the property, and you know that you're going to look for a place to stay, go ahead on and secure that new place, apartment, townhome, whatever you're going to get, and secure that first. before filing the bankruptcy if you can, because
yeah,
that bankruptcy filing is nothing but a push of a button. When you're sitting in that attorney's office, I mean, and if they turn around and they're putting all your information in the system, they're just hitting the button. And so once that button is pushed, your social is now tagged as and your credit file is tagged as having a bankruptcy filing on that, even if you don't get confirmed.
Yeah,
it's on there.
And it's like we got some bankruptcy. I mean, I know everybody's in the business, right? But we got some bankruptcy attorneys here that are just like, I mean, I live in Memphis, so we're like one of the bankruptcy capitals in the country. So they said one guy here, his is set up like, I mean, he just has rows and rows of desks and people just come up and file bankruptcy. And it's just out in the open. It's just, it is, you pay your $500 and you file bankruptcy at his office. And that is just, you know, some of them are much worse than others.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's 1,500. They don't care. They don't care if you get confirmed or not. You know, the total fee may be, you know, say it's $3,500. They can look at your profile once you come in their office and, you know, see that, for example, that you don't have the income, but they don't care. They're going to charge you $1,500 just to file the paperwork to see if you can get to that 90-day period. Because they have about 90 days to get you confirmed. They don't care. They've already collected $1,500 from you. So,
yeah. You know. So y'all be mindful. And if you work with people in foreclosure, you know, use empathy. Like, I hate to see, I already know, like, when foreclosures come, everybody's going to be a foreclosure expert. Everybody's going to be a foreclosure specialist, and they get over on people. I see it all the time. People call me and say, I paid $1,000 and they were going to stop my foreclosure. And I'm like, who? And they were like, this company or this man. I'm like, y'all. So if you do work with people in foreclosure, please be mindful. Please have empathy. Please, you know what I mean? Everybody doesn't have the mindset to work with, you know, people. I mean, people are about to be homeless. You know what I mean? I remember, like, my voice messages used to be full of people crying in my voice messages. Like, I would just go through my voicemails and it would just be people crying. I remember one lady called me. I was at a restaurant. She called me crying. I saw the transcript, you know, on your phone when they leave in voicemails, you can see sometimes it'll type out the transcription. And she was like, please help me. I'm in foreclosure. I have a baby. I'm about to lose my house. And y'all, it's still the saddest story ever. I tell that story all the time. That lady, they bought a house. She moved here from California with the baby. They lived in an apartment, and her husband and baby, they bought a house. Y'all have heard, some of y'all have heard this story already. Bought a house. They were having the house painted, right? So they were living in an apartment while the new house was getting painted. While the new house was getting painted, husband was killed in a car wreck. He never even moved into the house and left her with a $300,000 mortgage and a baby. And she called me because they were in foreclosure. And she was like, my husband died. I got a baby. She didn't have a job. When I pulled up, it was a truck backing out of the driveway with the dining room table on it. And she was like, I just sold the dining room table because I got to keep the lights on. And every time I went over there, that lady was crying. And I was like, it was the sad. I found that lady a job. Let me say that lady still has a job to this day, that I found a job for her. So, you know, you just run into all, like, you know, people like, I don't know how they ended up in foreclosure. You never know, right? Like, her husband was killed, never moved in the house, and left her with that mortgage and a baby. And I was like, goodness, it's heartbreaking. Y'all, it's 10:25. We on a marathon. This is a telethon. This is a lot. We spending the night tonight. You guys on the East Coast, it's 11:25. Look, it's about to be Friday on the East Coast. So I know on the West Coast, y'all just eating breakfast and the sun just came up on the West Coast. So you got
Ashley.
Yes, AJ.
I'm sorry, not to mean to interrupt you. Finish off from what you were saying.
if you know me, then you know there is no period when I talk. It's a comma, and I just keep going. Like, so you got to jump in. You get in where you fit in. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask you when a home is going to foreclosure, how much time do you have to make a deal with the homeowner before
It goes into
it's
auction.
too late?
That's a great
Yes.
question. That is a great question. It is a difficult question for me to answer. Now,
Mhm.
I have saved houses within 48 hours. I had a lady call me on a Saturday and her house was going up for auction on Tuesday. And I,
Wow.
had to, but again, I'm an auctioneer, right? So I know the trustees, I know the foreclosure attorneys. I can reach out and say, hey, I can save this house. A lot of people don't have that connection, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, you playing it real close by like a week, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
know some people's tactics be like have them file for bankruptcy and then that'll buy you some time to buy it from them. But that, I'm not saying do that at all. It's just
Mhm.
challenging. And a lot of these banks, like Mr. Cooper, a lot of these mortgage companies are not talking to the homeowners at all. They might call and say,
Mhm.
and they have lost credibility, right? If you haven't paid your mortgage in a year and you've been promising to pay the bank and you've been promising to send a payment, and now you got an auction
Mhm.
on Monday and you call and say, I'm gonna sell my house. They're gonna be like, ma'am, you've been promising to do something for a whole year.
Mhm. Mhm.
Your house going up for
Mhm.
auction on Monday. So that's
Yeah,
what
they're
I've
not
been
gonna do
running
anything.
into a lot too. These banks aren't, Mr. Cooper told me no. I was like, we can send the entire amount before the auction. And Mr. Cooper said, no, we are auctioning off this property. And I was like, okay. I've had that happen. They're like, it's been too long. They haven't paid in 2 years. It's too late. So it just depends. If I were you, when I reach out to homeowners in foreclosure, try to talk to the lender. Like a lender will listen to me over a homeowner because I guess I'm that professional. I'm like, hey, I promise I can get this deal closed. Let me send over proof of funds. Boom. And sometimes that lender will be like, okay, I'm going to give you some time. A lot of times, if you send over a contract and say, I got a contract in hand, that lender might say, okay, let me postpone it until your contract closes. But a lot of times they want to see a contract in hand before they stop that auction. So it just depends. I know that wasn't the answer you was looking for, but it just
No, 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 it's good. So, I mean, they really don't care who's buying it as long as someone's gonna buy it so they don't have to go to the auction because they don't want to go to auction, really.
right.
Pretty much, right?
I mean, I
Mhm.
feel
Oh,
like
okay.
that, but that's why I try to reach out. But some people, I guess, a lot of people, once they go into foreclosure, that they don't realize I can still sell it. It's like I'm in foreclosure and that's it, right? They don't realize you still got an
Mhm.
option. Barry, I see your hand.
Mhm.
I have a comment too when you get through with Barry
Barry
about
had his hand up.
the foreclosure.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
great.
Actually, I wanted to ask, how is the Memphis, Tennessee market, the real estate market? What's the opportunity there? Is there opportunities available?
So a lot of y'all ask me. So y'all know Memphis, right? I mean, I'm biased. We do got the cheap. We were rated #1 by the Wall Street Journal a few years ago as an investor playground, right? Because our real estate is so cheap and you get a lot for the square footage, right? We don't have a huge luxury market in Memphis. Like you can get like 5,000 square feet for like 300,000 here. When you talk about mansions, you can get a lot of land. But again, we got crime. We got crime in Memphis. So, but investors love it. You can get a property for $70,000 and rent it out for $1,500, $2,000. So, Memphis, if you didn't know, class, 60% of Memphis rents. 60% of our city are renters. So investors love Memphis, which is actually really sad when you think about it, that 60% of our city are
Especially in the
renters.
Black City.
So people love Memphis. You know what I mean? I'm from Chicago. I always thought that. But I lived in Memphis forever. Don't ask me anything about Chicago. So hold on, everybody got the hands up now. Marilyn, you want to make your one comment before I go to Diana and Jermon?
Yes, I just want to weigh in on the experience that I have. The judge, you can also write the judge and get back in front of the judge, and maybe he'll give you more time. And never miss a court date. If someone has to be in court, they need to show up. That's imperative.
So
And that's
Marilyn
an
said
area
you
where they
can
can
write
buy
the
more time.
judge and show up and don't miss your court date. Candace, thank you for coming.
Right.
We appreciate Candace. I see you. Appreciate it. I've had the screen on Candace like all night. Thank you, Candace. So
Thank
yeah,
you. This was helpful. Good night, everybody.
good night.
Good night.
Good night. And if
And
y'all gotta
follow me
go,
on IG, guys, if you can. I left my IG handle in there.
look at Candace. Her IG, hey, that's my realtor. Hay. Y'all go follow Candace on Instagram. Shout out to Candace. Yeah, you know,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
y'all know us from Chicago. I was born in Chicago, but I grew up in Memphis. Don't ask me where anything in Chicago is because I don't know. Okay. Diana.
I need to add to something.
iPhone, can we let
Yes.
Diana talk real quick, iPhone?
Yes, you can call me Joe. Yes.
Okay. Diana's next, and then Jermon, and then iPhone. Joe is after that. Okay, Diana, I got you.
Thank you, Ashley. So I live in California, and as foreclosures here obviously are great to purchase, but I mean, you're talking about people being behind like $100,000 to $150,000 because of the laws that are here.
Right.
So kind of just best advice in being able to have access to foreclosures in a different state.
Right.
That I, not really familiar with, but I want to get into the market. Some advice, wisdom,
Yeah.
what I should do.
So let me make sure I heard the question right, because I'm trying to listen for understanding and not listen to respond. So investing in California or investing out of California what's the question.
Investing out of California, because obviously foreclosures here people are behind usually about $100,000 or $200,000.
Got you. So I would say absolutely do, because a lot of y'all ask me like, what about investing? Because find some investor friendly cities. Like we ain't no shade to New York, but New York is not an investor friendly state. They do not fool with them, like they do not. And so up there in New York and all those, find an investor friendly city, right? Because a lot of these
What,
places,
Florida? Oh,
will let your renter go forever, and you gotta, so I would say do that, do your research. Y'all be asking me questions. I know y'all think I know everything.
I've been looking into Illinois, and currently I'm under contract on a property there, but it was on the market and I negotiated a little bit. But I'm kind of worried about what you were saying about how the market might be, how we're seeing the market go down. And so I thought, okay, Illinois is maybe somewhere where I can stay, but I don't think Illinois is a landlord friendly state.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about, well, look, I'm from Chicago, but I don't know about Illinois. And it's always good, like we have here in the Ford plant is coming here, right? We got a Ford plant coming here, and it's going to have a ton of jobs. So, it's always good to find like places where these plants are moving to. And so Illinois, I would say check. Like if you're negotiating on a property right now, I tell everybody, if you're in the mentorship, if you have to buy a property right now, negotiate. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I'm an agent. I've been an agent for 18 years, right? So and I've said this before, no shade to anybody. A lot of times right now in our industry, right, it's hard right now. It has dried up. Agents not making money. Everybody fighting over commissions right now. So what I'm saying is a lot of times they don't have your best interest in mind, right? A lot of times they just trying to get this deal closed and get this commission, right? And they not negotiating for you. So I would always say be an advocate for yourself, right? Look at these comps. I would say you look at comps 3 months, 6 months back and see if they've started what these price reductions are looking like, right? I lowball. right? That is what I enjoy doing. I'm on the investment side. I don't work retail anymore. I loved my first time home buyers, but I love my investors more, right? We can make an offer. You say yes, no, and that's the end of it. I don't have to hear about, no, I don't want it because the walk-in closet. I don't like it because the tree in the front yard leaning to the left. We don't do that on the investment side. If the numbers make sense, it's a go, right? But negotiate, especially when you're out of town, right? Look at those comps. If the numbers don't, as an investor, if the numbers don't make sense, it's not a good deal, is what I would say. So check rentals, make sure you got a good property management company, do all your due diligence. And I tell people, do not be afraid to walk away from a house, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's you and that mortgage. And so don't be afraid. And I'll see, let me see if I know anybody in Illinois right, who could possibly help you, but negotiate whatever price you want to offer a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? So is my advice on that for sure. I hope that helped you, Dan. You probably Ashley, you just talking.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had somebody after Deanna. Did they leave? Because I know Joe want to talk.
Nah, I'm still here.
No, there you are. I saw you. Hold on. There, yes, Jermon. Yeah.
Nah, good stuff, Ashley. I rock with you tough. Couple things with these bankruptcies. Also, what y'all may want to start doing too, go back a few years, maybe 3 to 5 years, people that filed bankruptcy. Ain't nobody talking to them folks, and them new cases are still open. So especially if they filed Chapter 13, reach out to those folks. Secondly, as well, become besties with a lot of these level 3 mitigators at these big banks. If you become best friends with them, you bypass all these foreclosure attorneys. It's a straight shot. You got a straight.
How do you become besties, Jermon? How do you become besties with, people at the bank? You got any tips for these people?
Oh, well, nah, I helped the level 3 mitigator from Wells Fargo. His buddy solve a real estate problem, and that's how I got plugged in. So, but when you're calling into these folks, and you're getting one of these, what I call the gatekeepers, you're going to get a different gatekeeper. What you do is you get that person's name and just say, "Hey, I want to give you a promotion. Who's your boss?" Next thing you know it, you get the number. I know. I'm a real estate investor, so
I got you.
Talking. So and I talk fast. So y'all want to write this down? Don't blame me if your papers and pencils start smoking. Find out who that gatekeeper is. Find out who their boss is. Say, hey, who's your boss? I'm gonna give you a recommendation. They're gonna give you the number. All of a sudden, you call their boss. Let them know, hey, what's going on? That hey, I got Sue Smith here, whose home is going to foreclosure, and your gatekeeper is messing around. You have a home, right? You get to go home at night, right? Sue Smith's about to be out in the street in about 12 days because your gatekeeper's messing around. What do I got to do to get this pushed through? And then from there, at that point forward, you got a direct line.
And I think that's great advice. And if y'all heard him, if you can establish these relationships with the bank, right? That's how I ended up getting my REO property. I had a lady in foreclosure. She called me. She was going up for auction. She wanted to sell it. So I ended up talking to her mortgage lender because I was like, I'm going to sell it. He said, cool. How long do you need? We needed 15 days to sell it. The person who was buying it ended up not wanting it. So they ended up auctioning off that lady's house. And the guy at the bank said, now we own it. The bank has bought it back from auction. Do you want to list it now for the bank? And that's how I ended up with my REO listing because I had already made that relationship with the bank. And then they were like, well, heck, now do you want to be the listing agent for the bank? And I'm like, sure. And I sure sent them some edible arrangements and a thank you because I want all of your REO listings at this point. So I do say it is good to establish those connections, right? And with the bank. So the sites that I put up for you to do BPOs or for you to reach out to the bank, reach out to those people, right? Exhaust all your options because once the floodgates open, everybody gonna be trying to reach out and do all the things. So be proactive now is what I would say for sure. And I always tell you, because some of y'all are like, I don't want to get to know people. If you go to the auction, get to know the auctioneer, right? Y'all be like, I don't want to talk to him. Y'all channel me, channel your auction mama, because I'm going to talk to him. If I'm put in a position to establish a relationship or to network, I'm going to do it every time. So a closed mouth don't get fed when it comes to real estate. I'm going to tell you that right now. And a lot of y'all won't negotiate. I will negotiate. I will lowball you. I will lowball you, and you can be mad and be like, Ashley, that was a ridiculous offer. You have offended. I didn't mean to offend you, but look, if I looked at the numbers, I will lowball you, and a lot of times they'll take it. So all I got to say is a closed mouth don't get fed when it comes to real estate, okay? And asking for information. So,
and also real
ahead.
quick, I'm gonna shut up after this. I'm gonna shut up after this. I'm enjoying this information. To Diana's point about people being behind 100, 200K behind, you're looking at it all wrong. You're talking to American investors. A lot of them are stingy and boneheaded. Become best friends with international investors. You're out this. I'm originally from California, the Bay Area, so I can tell you right now, a studio apartment in the Bay Area, in the hood of Oakland or San Francisco, you're paying $3K a month. So I know about expensive. Start reaching out to some of these consulates in your city. I don't care what city you're in. Every country has a consulate in your major city. Go talk to the economic development folks, saying, "Hey, I'm the go-to real estate person, here, investor, whatever. If you have countrymen that are looking to develop or build something here, I would like to help them out." Them international folks is going to spend money. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know, because I have people I talk to from Florianopolis, Brazil. If you know anything about Brazil, Florianopolis is one of the richest cities, richest states in Brazil. I have people in Colombia. So also it helps too if you kind of learn speak the language a little bit too. You just put yourself 5 steps ahead of everybody else. That's just little things like
Thank
that.
you.
People like that.
Absolutely.
For that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
And
definitely.
absolutely. Like
Think outside the box.
Yeah, foreign
Think outside the
investors.
box.
Like I got plenty of clients. Like y'all, I got Hong Kong, Australia, all of them. Plenty of investor clients, you guys. And a lot of y'all, I've learned, a lot of y'all overthink things, right? Y'all are like, well, if I get the property, who gonna buy it? Y'all, that's the easy part. Getting the property is the part that you need to do. A lot of will not do. I have people in the mentorship who are like, Ashley, if I get the property, who I'm gonna sell it to? You've worried about the wrong thing. Get the properties. If you can get a homeowner or get a property or a pre-foreclosure, somebody will buy it. I promise that. Somebody will buy it from you. That's not even the hard part. Getting the seller is the hard part. So don't let that stop you. And y'all, foreign investors, y'all here, and I see, like I work with hedge funds. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody asks me who I sell to. I sell to private investors. I know local investors who are starting up. I sell to them first. If they don't want it, then yeah, I will sell to hedge funds. And hedge funds call me and they'll be like, I just got a deposit for $130 million. What do you have that we can buy? So when I tell you foreign money flows, it flows into this country for sure. So, and we don't have to get into, all the ins and outs of, because I know that's in the news right now. But I'm just saying, finding the property is the hardest part. Selling it is not, is what I would say that. Okay, you guys, it's 10:45. It's 10:45. It is 11.
Can I ask one question? Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
So I purchased an REO 2013. Yes, 2013 we purchased. No, 2010, God. But the ones that I'm looking up right now, they say off market. So do you have to wait for them to come on market, or you can contact the bank? Because when I purchased, it was on.
What you looking at?
On
like what site?
The website that you give.
I done gave like 25 websites this evening. On the HUD Home Store, Home Path, Home Steps. What you looking on?
It was the Pro Wire.
Prop Wire. Okay. So were you under like pre-foreclosures, or If it says off
Or
market, that just means they not on the, so off market means the homeowner doesn't have it listed for sale. You know what I mean? It's just off market. You can contact them. Yeah. Yeah. Now I know what
but it
you're,
said
huh?
so are you under the bank, right? The bank own it.
Oh, so I guess if the bank, did you look under owner? Look at me, I'm giving you a tutorial while you're on there. If you click on owner, does it show a bank as the owner when you click on owner? If the bank owns it, then you know what I mean.
I just clicked on REO and it filtered like 30 properties, but all of them was off market.
I would look and make sure. And I want to tell y'all when it comes to PropWire, don't take it as fact, right? Because a lot of times what it has is equity and all that kind of stuff might not be accurate. But I would click on owner and see who the owner is and see what that information, it might still be showing the homeowner. It might still be showing that. So look and see that. If it's the bank, then you would have to go to the bank and maybe pull it out of PropWire and put it in Google and see if it pop up on like HUD Home Store, some site like that.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to send out the replay within 24 hours with all the links to the one-on-one sessions, the letters, the everything, you guys, if you want that. Y'all know my email is Your Agent Ashley. I will try to get on YouTube on Sunday nights again at 8 p.m. Central Time. I think a lot of people enjoyed that. And I just come on there and talk like I did right now. So you guys, I hope y'all got something out of this. Yes, possibly. Maybe you learned something new, got some information. Now you might want to be like $1 million investors now at this point, right? Right. That's what I thought. That's what I try to make y'all be.
I'll be like Ashley.
You are welcome. You are welcome. I will do another masterclass soon. I will do I don't know if y'all know, I'm a mom. You guys, I got a kid that's in middle school. That just started middle school this year. So I am a mom and an auctioneer and a real estate. You know what I mean? So hopefully
you should do one every month.
And you're building millionaire.
That's right. Thank you. HT, while you trying to HT as much information as you gave, I think you need to host a master class. And I will come to your master class, HT. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm in Florida, so if you need any help, you can always hire me. I'm really smart, I'm bright, and I have a lot of life experiences.
Well, come on, Marilyn. Look at Marilyn. Marilyn gave her
so I can send you my resume if you like. I mean, I don't think there's nothing in life I haven't experienced.
Marilyn, find me a foreclosure for $23.19 right on the beach. That's what I need you to do. Find me my beach house for $23.19. Boom. That's
okay. I'll start looking tomorrow.
That's what I need.
Never know.
In foreclosure, right on the beach. Like I want to be able to see the waves come up, $23.19. That's what I need. So, okay, you guys, the replay.
Ashley.
Yep.
Ashley.
AJ.
Ashley,
yep.
wait, before you continue, and you just said you want a house on the beach, right? Because
yes.
I gotta go here because I never hear anybody talking about this. We had a lot of, I live on the East Coast and I'm New York. We had a lot of rain about a week ago.
Yeah.
You see what that rain did to some of the houses over Long Island in Jersey. Now, I'm just telling, oh man, it had damaged the road where the cars can't even drive. Some people say they can't even leave their house. There was a house that I saw that was on the water and it just collapsed. The whole house just collapsed. And we don't even get a lot of rain, but when it rains down here, it rains hard. The reason why I brought that up because I know this guy. He used to he has a big farm. He used to live in Florida.
Yeah.
And he left Florida and he moved to Texas. And I couldn't understand why he left Florida because he had like a whole bunch of animals on his farm and everything. And he said some people that he's been speaking to, I guess geologists and whatever, because he's a real researcher. And he said they have predicted that certain parts of Florida are going to be flooded over the next over the next few years. And this is why he packed up and he left Florida and decided to go to Texas. And I don't hear anybody talking about that. That's why I just wanted to just put that out there. You have to be, whenever you guys want to move near water, find some geologists and speak to them first. Just don't get a property for a good price. Speak to the geologists because they know what's going to happen sometimes 5, 10, 20 years down the line. They see what's happening well before we do.
You're right, and I agree. And floods that's why y'all. I love Florida, but baby, I know Florida is going through it with their real estate right now. Property taxes, HOA, everything in real estate. Florida right now. I see you smiling, Maryland. Florida, y'all have like the most pre-foreclosures. Y'all got the most foreclosures. Y'all have the most listings on the market in the whole country right now. Florida has the most homes for sale, and Florida has the most listings that have motivated seller in the comments. So y'all, and I was talking about, but see, it's okay if I get it for $22.19. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be all right then. I can just buy 3 of them. But
Florida is we're gonna adjust, and that about Florida is gonna be underwater. That's been a rumor since like the 70s, but it is some truth to that. But Florida will adjust because we don't have a high income earner status here. They don't pay a lot of money, so Florida will readjust, I think.
Well,
it won't take long because there's not many people can afford to buy here. Miami is gentrification, and all the foreigners own everything in Miami, which is where my mom's house is, which I'm going to get ready to sell. But we're in a unique position where her home is located. So hopefully we can still get $450 for the home that I'm in.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of land, it has a lot of land here.
Yeah. So as we end this, all I'm going to say is take care of yourself. If you live on a beach, if you live in the desert, you know what I mean? Take care of yourself. I just saw real quick, and I'm going to go off. I just saw that they readjusted the unemployment, the job report that came out. They just adjusted it because it said that we had created however many jobs in 2023, and they were wrong by 880,000 jobs. The numbers were wrong. We only created 130,000 jobs in the last year, and the numbers were wrong. So y'all already know how I feel about the news and the media and how they can manipulate numbers, right? So take care of yourself, right? I survived the last crash, and you would have thought that we were jumping through sunflower fields all the way up until the market crashed, right? They were saying everything was fine, and then Monday morning came and Lehman Brothers filed bankruptcy and everybody, so just take care of yourself, be mindful. I know the holidays are coming up. Don't go shopping crazy is all I have to say. And just be mindful, take care of yourself, get your credit in order. So when it happens, you're prepared. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready is what I would say. Yes. And I have a hard time closing things out. So we're going to close this out. Okay. Cause I can keep on talking. So, all right, you got, look, all minds clear. And we are going to close this out. Okay, you guys, the replay will be out in the next 24 hours, and I will put all the links and everything. If I have coupon codes, maybe I'll make a coupon code for everything. And all right, if you need me, youragentashleigh@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley. I'm on YouTube, Your Agent Ashley. That's all I got for you, you guys. That's it. I'm done talking. Okay, you guys, I'm hanging up on 3. Like when you're kids.
Thank you.
1, 2, bye, you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Bye, you guys.
Good night.
Good night. Bye, Anthony. Bye, Yolanda. Bye, Lois. Bye, Geoff. Bye, Barry. Bye, Yvonne. I'm just kidding. Bye, y'all. I'm hanging up.